Honda at the Model Clearout event. It's the best time to team up with a Honda you'll love.
Welcome to St. Petersburg, Florida. We are at Tropicana Field for the final series of the 2018 season. The Blue Jays coming off a home series, and John Gibbons was treated very kindly for his final game in Rogers Center on Wednesday afternoon, and it was a special moment for him, I'm sure. His final home game for the Blue Jays. Take a look at the lineup for John Gibbons' Blue Jays. They are at 72 and 87. Fourth in the American League East, and down in that cleanup spot, the rookie Rowdy Tellez. 12 of his 19 hits since joining the Blue Jays have gone for extra bases, 9 doubles and 3 home runs. And how about Reese McGuire? He too has done a nice job in his rookie season for the Blue Jays. He hit his first home run on Wednesday. Over his last 6 games, he's 5 for 16. A lot of the rookies have fared very well, and they'll get to see Tyler Glasnow for a second straight start.
Yeah, the big right-hander has pitched in 44 games, including 10 starts this year. He had 34 of those relief appearances when he was a member of the Pittsburgh Pirates before he got traded over here to Tampa Bay. Last faced the Blue Jays on Saturday. All 3 runs allowed came in that 4th inning. Gave him a couple of home runs. Rowdy Tellez and Reese McGuire reached the big right-hander for home runs in that. He'll be facing the Jays for a second consecutive start, 4th time in 11 starts since his trade over to the Rays. He has a much better earned run average here at home. And the Blue Jays did a good job of making him get that curveball over last time they faced him.
Last Saturday was the matchup that we have tonight. Tyler Glasnow and Thomas Pannone, the starting pitchers. Billy McKinney is the leadoff man once again. McKinney is set. Here's the first pitch of the ball game. It's in there for a strike, and we are underway. McKinney for the season hitting .264. He's done a nice job playing left and right. There's a fastball at 98.
You know what Billy does is he makes adjustments when he has to. He's having problems with breaking balls. He's getting out there a little bit too quickly. He says, I'm getting myself out. So he had to slow things down. Hit a home run the other day on a fastball that was down and in. Did a good job on that one. That's what you want to do. You want to see some improvement from these young players from game to game.
Fastball foul back. Well, you know, Glasnow's got a big arm. He's got a great fastball, and he's got a very good curveball. And oftentimes, if he can't locate that curveball early in the ball game, it'll be a short outing for him.
He's been hit in the first inning. Been hit hard in the first inning. Got an ERA of 11 in that first inning, but he seems to settle down. He hasn't given up a run in the first since the Blue Jays scored 7 runs against him 3 starts ago.
There's that curveball hit to left field. Tommy Pham was shaded there, and he's just going to run out of room. Not a whole lot of room in foul territory down the left field line. Pham was shaded in that direction. He was really close to that foul line.
It's an interesting defense that the Tampa Bay Rays are throwing up there against Billy McKinney. This is Billy's first year at the big leagues. Hasn't played a full season. But they have enough information to have 3 infielders on the right side and the outfield shifting him all the way over to left field. Look at Tommy Pham. He's almost out of your picture in left field. But the defense very much to pull on the right side.
I tell you what, as these teams play more exaggerated shifts, hitters have to start thinking about making adjustments. Dropping down bunts early in at bats. You just got to buy some more areas to hit. In, especially on the infield.
There's no question. Right now, you got to be thinking about possibly hitting the ball on the ground to the left side of the infield. Change up your swing. They've been doing it for 150 years, making adjustments at the plate on the fly. If you have to, slow your swing down, hit it the other way, or speed it up and catch it out in front. So those are adjustments. And if you start hitting the ball the other way, I mean, look at the left side of the infield. He just has to beat Joey Wendell. That's it.
1-2 pitch. There's a drive to left field. That's going to get over the head of Tommy Pham. Billy McKinney crossed up that shift. It was too exaggerated to the line, and he gets a base hit, a double to start the game.
That's why I wanted to point that out. It was just an interesting defense for a player who doesn't have a whole lot of time in the major leagues. 3 infielders on the right side, extreme pull, left field the other way. This is how you beat it by going the other way. Fastball down and away. If he's in his normal spot, Tommy Pham, this is out number 1. But he can't pick it up. It's an extra base hit.
You know what shifts do? Shifts eliminate the advantage teams have by having good defenders. If you have defenders that have a lot of range, play them straight away. And then you'll guard against those exceptional hits, the ones that go against the grain.
You know, there's no question. That is a great point also. Tommy Pham has got a lot of speed out there, but why he was guarding the line, I have no idea.
Billy McKinney has had 5 at-bats against Tyler Glasnow. He's now 2 for 5. If you're going to base your defense on 5 at-bats, I think that's being a little bit over anxious to set up some kind of defense. Nobody really knows what Billy McKinney is. Billy McKinney doesn't even know what he is yet.
Adjustment and hit the ball the other way when they pitched him away. I don't know how you have your defense to pull and you pitch him away.
Strike 3 call. Kevin Pillar caught looking at that fastball at 98 miles an hour. Tampa Bay has a good defense. They've got some good players. They're missing their center fielder now, Kevin Kiermaier, who's out with a fractured foot. And that's why Malik Smith is in center field.
Yeah, that's the Gold Glove center fielder, Kevin Kiermaier, out for the season. He was hit with a pitch the other day, a slider, and broke his foot, out for the year. So Malik Smith will play center field from now on. What a season he has had for the Tampa Bay Rays. Still a very good defender, but he's not like the Gold Glover.
Solarte gets jammed, hits a little slow roller to second. Brandon Lau throws him out 2 away. Kiermaier has had so many tough injuries, and it's just kind of a sad story. He's such a talented guy, but he has trouble staying on the field. So Solarte's retired 4-3 on the ground up. McKinney moved to third base. So here is Rowdy Tellez, the rookie we mentioned in the open. 12 of his 19 hits have gone for extra bases, including a home run against Tyler Glasnow.
That turned a 1-0 advantage for the Rays that day into a 2-1 advantage for the Blue Jays, and they wouldn't ever give it back up. They won that game 5-2. Thomas Pannone beat Glasnow.
That was last Saturday at Rogers Center. Glasnow quickly ahead 0-2. Little chopper right at home plate. You and I have both been impressed by Glasnow's stuff. The only time we see him really struggle is when he throws a lot of balls, and that's not been the case in this first inning. He's only thrown 1 ball in this inning.
And a lot of curveballs. That's the one thing I'm going to zero in here early on tonight. Is he getting his curveball over? It seems like he is.
Change up in the dirt. Tellez strikes out. There's the throw to first to complete the strikeout. Blue Jays get a leadoff double. They can't cash it in. Thomas Pannone will take the mound when we come back to St. Pete. a season. .291 average. And he has played center and right field. There's a drive to the alley in left center, and that's going to get down. Bounces up against the wall. Smith is headed around second. Here he goes toward third. Good cutoff. They got a shot. Not in time. 10th triple of the season for Malik Smith. That gives him something to dance about.
He's an electric player when he gets the chance to play, and he's got a chance this year, and he's turned in an excellent season. 0-2 fastball. They wanted this obviously in a different spot, but it's out over the plate. I thought he'd just stay at second base. You don't want to get thrown out at third base. Be the first or last out at third base, but the play's right in front of him. He sees the throw from the outfield, and he just outran the baseball. They had a shot, but his speed just got him to third base.
The 10th triple now. He is the leader all by himself. That snaps a tie with his teammate, Kevin Kiermaier, who had 9. And Sanchez, Yomer Sanchez of the White Sox, also had 9.
You know, you just don't see too many triples that are hit to left center field unless you have outstanding speed or something happens out there. Blue Jays fielded the ball cleanly and they got it back in, but he made that triple coming out of the box, running up hard up the first base line.
Infield plays back. This is Tommy Pham. Pham homered off of Pannone the last time they faced one another, and that really set Pannone back on his heels. That home run came in the second inning of his last start with 1 out. And after the home run, he walked the next 3 batters. And he walks Pham here. Now let's take a look at the defense. Runners at first and third, nobody out. And Dwight Smith Jr. gets the nod in left field for the Blue Jays.
Blue Jays, incredibly, have had 11 players start a game in left field this year. 11. Dwight Smith has had a couple of starts out there. He'll be in the picture, I think, next year when they put this outfield together and put this team together for next season. He will get the start today against the hard-throwing Tyler Glasnow.
Here's Joey Wendell. Wendell is playing third base tonight, and he is their super utility player that's had a terrific season. Wendell batting an even .300 at the start of this game. He's going to be in the conversation about American League Rookie of the Year for sure.
Yeah, he'll finish in the top 3, 4 in the American League. But that guy in New York, I think, might have it all sewn up. Miguel Andujar.
Andujar has been consistent, and he's provided an awful lot of power for the Yankees.
Hit a 3-run home run here yesterday to really get them rolling. That big 12-1 win, the Yankees.
Andujar is hitting .296, just 4 points behind Wendell. You look at the rookie leaders in the American League in batting average. Wendell at .300, Andujar at .296, and then Shohei Ohtani .283, and Lourdes Gurriel, who's finished for the season, will end up at .281. Very good full season for Gurriel.
Very respectable, and I think what happened to him injury-wise this year, having to go on the disabled list a few different times, really interrupted his season, especially when he was hot.
1-2 to Wendell. Line drive, base hit. Malik Smith is in to score. That's up against the wall in left. Pham goes to third. Wendell has an RBI double. Triple, walk, double for the Rays.
You know, he is such a good hitter. We've had a chance to see a lot of Joey Wendell over the last month. And it's impressive how he can handle both lefties and righties. Doesn't try and pull that ball. Lets it get deep as much as possible and just rifles it down the left field line for the game's first run. He just looks like he's going to be a good hitter. There's balance, there's a flat swing, there's plate coverage, and there's not a lot of strikeouts.
33rd double of the season for Wendell. The RBI gives him 59 for the season. That ties him with Shohei Ohtani in the rookie RBI department. Ohtani and Wendell now 4th in the American League among rookies. So here's C.J. Cron. Crone is the leader in home runs for Tampa Bay. He's got 29 home runs. One more home run, he'd become the 9th Ray to have a 30 home run season. They don't have that power, but they have the ability to score runs by their extra base hitters in their lineup.
This might be the lone really power type of player that they have in their lineup. With that power, though, comes some strikeouts and a lower batting average than you would like to see. So there is some strikeout there. That's a couple of runners in scoring position. Now would be a good time to pick up your first strikeout.
The Rays have only 4 players with double-digit homers. They tied with the Tigers for the fewest in the majors. 0-2. Fly ball left field. White Smith Jr. long run. He makes a nice running catch. Pham tags at third. Here's the throw to the plate, not in time. C.J. Crone with the sacrifice fly. Pham scores from third and Tampa Bay has a 2-0 lead.
You know, that's the thing that we see from Tampa Bay this year that we didn't see last year. Mentioned that they grind out at bats and have tough at bats, and you got runners at second and third with nobody out. As a pitcher, you're trying to get a strikeout or a pop-up, something like that. He just reaches out there and flicks the ball down the left field line and ends up driving in a run with a sacrifice fly. Good at bat.
Brandon Lau, the second baseman now, with Wendell at second. 1 out. Breaking ball in the dirt. Now hitting .239. He's played second. He's played in the outfield as well. 7 games in left field, 5 games in right field as a starter. Fly ball to left field. White Smith Jr., the left fielder, calling for it. Makes the catch. Wendell stays put at second. 2 outs now.
You know, I was talking to Reese McGuire today, and I was asking him about Thomas Pannone, and he was saying, you know, one of the things that makes him tough is, and you never want to see this happen to people, is give up runs early. He gave up a run to the Yankees, the Andrew McCutchen home run early on. I think it was the second pitch of the game, and he says, but what that does is it really locks him in, and he really gets after it if he gives up a couple of runs early on. That's something that we're going to have to watch tonight. He got hit the first 3 guys got on base against him. Now he's got to try and figure out a way to get out of this inning without giving up any more runs and then lock it in and throw up some more zeros.
A good changeup. It's 0-2. And you're right. It's oftentimes a problem for starting pitchers. I don't care how inexperienced or how much experience you have. First innings are a challenge. You mentioned that with Glasnow.
Yep. And I like how his catcher recognizes that, and he says he just becomes a little, he focuses just a little bit more, and he locks in when he's behind, almost saying, I can't give up any more runs. That's it. I got to take it to another level. Good pitch.
Mark Carlson, the home plate umpire, looked like he wanted to call it a strike. 1-2 now. Pannone trying to strand a runner in scoring position. Ventured Mark Carlson behind the plate. Fastball base hit. That's going to score Wendell. He's around third. Comes in to score Willie Adames. The Blue Jays haven't been able to get him out all season long. That's his 17th hit and 7th RBI against the Jays this season.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because it looked like he had him struck out on the previous pitch. Fastball in. They want to go back there, and this one leaked out over the plate. It just couldn't get it to the glove side on the inside part of the plate for a hitter with 2 strikes. Not a lot of movement for Adames as he hits that ball into center field.
3-0 Tampa Bay. Jake Bauers, the lefty, goes after the first pitch and pops it into shallow center. Arena, the shortstop, out, makes the catch that ends the inning. But boy, Tampa Bay jumped all over Thomas Pannone in the first. They scored 3 runs on 3 hits and take a 3-0 lead.
A pretty good relationship with John Gibbons, his manager, when he was a player for the Blue Jays back in 2004. Cash told me that when Carlos Tosca was fired, essentially handing the reins over to Gibbons, the new skipper pulled Cash aside, looked him straight into the eye and told him, you have to be patient. Some guys are going to get more opportunities and you're not going to get much playing time. Well, as a player, Cash told me that he appreciated the honesty. Gibby was always good about communicating to his players what he was thinking, whether you were in the lineup or not, whether you were performing well or struggling. Gibby was above all consistent. Cash remembers those times as a player and what that straight talk did for him. Now a big league manager himself, Buck, he tries to pass that same honesty and consistency onto his players.
Well, that's always the best way to go, and tell them up front. If they can handle it, fine. If they can't, you probably got the wrong guy. Hey, Oscar Hernandez hits it high and deep. Malik Smith onto the warning track. This one's gone. Teoscar Hernandez in the opposite field home run. His 21st of the season, and the Blue Jays get one back quickly.
Hey, why wait around? If you're Teoscar Hernandez, your team is down. You've got a big right-hander out there throwing bullets. Took out a couple of batters in that first inning. Why wait around for him to use that breaking ball? Go swinging right away, and that's exactly what he does. First pitch swinging for Teoscar for the home run.
Now they're giving Teoscar a little bit of his own medicine. Look at him put a ball down his shirt.
Fill him up.
Absolutely. How many guys have been waiting to do that?
Well, they've been waiting since August the 9th. That's his last home run.
Yeah.
When he homered against Cleveland. Four-seam fastball. Again, at times it will cut on Tyler Glasnow. This one right down where Teoscar likes it. Watch the full extension when he finishes his swing. Deep to right field, where again his first home run since the 9th.
And a whole bunch of sunflower seeds down his shirt.
He just gained about 10 pounds worth of sunflower seeds.
Every one of those guys that has taken a sunflower shower lately got some payback.
Billy McKinney, I'm sure, was right in there. Randall Grichuk, Randall got one the other day.
Go back and watch the reaction dugout. Look, everybody's got a bag of sunflower seeds. Every one of them's been waiting for this opportunity.
You can't cover up. You can't cover up.
Look at Gurriel. He's going right down the back. Gurriel's the one that had the most trouble with it the other day. I think they got to find a different way to celebrate. I think that was the message they sent to Teoscar right now.
I'm with you 100%.
A 3-1 ball game. Dwight Smith Jr. It's a start here. Interesting guy. He's one of the guys that loves to hit fastballs. He gets one and fouls this from back out of play.
Yeah, he has good at bats. When you watch him, doesn't have a whole lot of major league experience, but he's got some really good at bats under his belt.
Dwight's 25 years old. He'll turn 26 toward the end of October. He goes out, that breaking ball gets away from Moore, the catcher. Long throw in time. Moore shows a strong arm. And ball in the dirt. The curveball got away from him, but he's able to throw out Smith.
You know, that was a good play on the other end also by Jake Bowers, the first baseman. He might be hitting under 200, but he gives a good effort defensively. Another sharp curveball. Moore gets on it, fires, and the throw is in the baseline. And as a left-handed hitting first baseman, you got to get in there and then get out of there.
Glasnow is having no problems finding that strike zone early in this game. 19 strikes, just 3 balls. There's a little loop, but that's going to drop for Richard Urania. He's getting his fair share of hits. That'll bump up his average. It started at 284.
That's going to be really interesting what happens with Richard Urania next season. Where does he go? He's already had some time at AAA. The last couple of seasons, he has shown that he can field and hit at the major league level. Can he do it consistently day in and day out? I think that's the question that needs to be answered.
He's the youngest of all of these September call-ups. He won't turn 23 until next February. There he goes. Birdie takes a strike throw to second. Not in time. I don't know if that ball hit Urania or Lau got a glove on it, but it was certainly into the baseline.
Well, I hope he got a glove on it because that thing looked like it hit him right around the face area. They are going to run against Tyler Glasnow. Any chance they have a chance to do it. Would that get him in the shoulder?
Looked like it hits him in the shoulder. No, it went off the glove, I guess. He didn't react as if he got hit. It's a stolen base, his first of the season.
But they are going to try and run on Tyler Glasnow. Very deliberate, very slow to the plate, methodical with that high leg kick. So Urania didn't waste any time. Went on the first pitch.
Blue Jays don't steal many bases, but Glasnow is so deliberate to the plate. His release time will be up around 2 seconds. John Birdie, boy, what a story Birdie was the other day, Wednesday. He got called up because of the injury to Gurriel. They need another infielder, and Birdie has been in the organization a long time. He's 28 years old, and on Wednesday, his first big league game, he got his first big league hit, and he was surprised to be called up so late, but the injury made him needed, and they were able to get him to the big leagues. This ball gets away. Urania coming around third. He's thinking about scoring, but Glasnow gets on it. The catcher, Moore, stayed at home. That ball bounced over near the Rays dugout.
Yeah, out in the no man's land. Jake Bowers came in. It's another curveball that he spikes out in front of home plate, and Moore just tries to bat it down. And Urania does the right thing, thinking about scoring. Here comes Jake Bowers. And he had a shot. He had a shot, but you don't want to run into an out. You were talking about John Birdie. I asked him, you know, what he was doing. He said, I was at home in northern Detroit, and I was just sitting there for about 10 days, and the phone rang. He said, come to Toronto. He's like, I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'll be right there.
He hung up. He didn't even say, how do I get there? Another breaking ball in the dirt. Birdie will be thrown out at first. A couple of strikeouts for Glasnow. He gives up a leadoff home run here in the second. Teoscar Hernandez goes opposite field and gets a sunflower shower. 3-1 Tampa Bay.
Purchase season tickets and automatically become enrolled in My Blue Jays. Learn more at mybluejays.com. Buck.
Thank you very much, Hazel. Sign up. 19 promises to be an exciting season. A lot of these young players are going to make the team next year. There might be some more on the horizon. This is Austin Meadows. Meadows batting .214 with the Rays. On the season, we put his numbers together with Pirates and the Rays. He's hitting .286 with 5 home runs. He has not homered since he's come to the Rays. Look out. That breaking ball slipped out of the hand of Pannone. Meadows hit .292 in 49 games with the Pirates.
Got off to a great start for him when they brought him back up for the first time. They brought him up. He got off to a great start, then got around the league a little bit, cooled off a little bit. They sent him back down to the minor league and then traded him.
See his numbers at AAA. He came to the Pirates along with Tyler Glasnow for Chris Archer. 1-2. Pannone hasn't really zeroed in with that curveball just yet.
He's got 2 types of curveballs. One that he really gets on top, and that's the one that goes down. At times he'll get on the side and it becomes side to side type of breaking ball. Instead of up and down, it becomes side to side, and that's when he gets in trouble. He'll try to do it against left-handers a little bit more. There's his pitch usage. It's basically fastball, changeup, and his curveball. He's got a good curveball. He hasn't been able to hit on it yet. He'll drop down a little bit against lefties and try and sweep it for the strikeout.
Austin Meadows gets a leadoff single right over the mound into center field. So the lefty picks up his 4th hit. All of his hits since coming to the Rays have been against the Blue Jays. He had 3 hits as of coming off the bench in the series at Rogers Center. Now he's got another hit. He is now 4 for 15.
Yeah, I think he should just keep throwing that breaking ball, especially to the lefties, until he finds it. That's a fastball that just gets under his glove. I asked Thomas what he did on the off day. He said, you know what I did? I went over to the complex and threw. He said, me and Ryan Barucki went over there. Mike Shaw, the traveling secretary, took us over there so I could throw. Said, I can't sit around my hotel room. I needed to do something. So he just got a little throwing in yesterday.
Barucki and Pannone are baseball players. They want to play baseball. So you don't have a game, find a game. This is Adam Moore. Moore is catching just for the 5th time. Moore is 28 years old. He has bounced around a bit. Journeyman catcher. Getting an opportunity here late in the season. He's 33 years old from Longview, Texas. Originally drafted by the Seattle Mariners. Ground ball foul wide of 3rd. Moore went to the University of Texas at Arlington. Drafted by the Mariners, 6th round in 2006. Had some time with Seattle, with the Royals, a little bit with San Diego, and last 2 years he got into some games with Cleveland. Been around a bit. Just low.
Well, that's unfortunate again. It looked like he had Adames struck out last inning. Yeah, he threw that fastball. Good job by Reese McGuire to frame that up for him. But he can't get the call. Boy, it looked like he had him, didn't it? Right where you want to throw that fastball, down at the knees.
But now it goes to first. You check in on Meadows. Meadows has some speed. He has 5 stolen bases in 6 attempts this season.
A little bit bigger lead over there at first base now.
Fouled off. Pannone's a good athlete, and You mentioned his last start, the problems he had in the second inning, or actually it was in the third inning. He got 2 quick outs, and then Tommy Pham hit a home run. And then he walked the next 3 batters. And he got a couple of visits on the mound. The first visit with his catcher, Reese McGuire. Pannone said, "I got this. I'm okay. I got this." But he just lost the strike zone. And then Pete Walker came out and joined McGuire another batter later. And he said, "I got this. I'm still okay. Bases were loaded." And sure enough, he was able to strike out Adames to get out of it. High fly ball, center field. Pilar way back, calls for it. Tagging at first is Meadows. He's going to move up. Meadows recognized Pilar was going to catch it. Went back to first tag, and he advances on the long fly ball to center.
In this ballpark, you cannot take your eyes off the ball if you're an outfielder. That white background, you might look back up there and not find it. It's a long fly ball to left field. And this is where the other outfielder tells him, hey, he's tagging up, come up throwing, which he did, but Meadows just too fast. It's a nice smooth gate from first to second.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Man, look how easy he's running. He's a good-looking young outfielder. Back to the top of the order, Alex Smith started the inning with a triple to the alley in left center. But now still fighting that curveball. He hasn't found it just yet.
Maybe it goes back to his stride. He was telling you and I the last time we were back home a couple of days ago. He said, you know what, that's the key for me. I've got to be able to find my stride. And it's something I worked on when I was in the minor leagues.
Line drive left field. Dwight Smith running over, makes a nice catch. That ball was diving in a hurry. Sliced off the bat of Malik Smith. He made a nice play. That ball easily could have gotten down. Coming off the bat of a lefty hitter, that's going to slice away from him.
You got to remember, as a corner outfielder, that ball, either from a lefty or a right-handed hitter, it's going to either slice or hook towards the line. So Dwight has to hustle a little bit harder and from the backhand, haul it in. He's been busy tonight.
With the lefty on the mound, a lot of balls have been hit in his direction. Here's Tommy Pham. He walked his first time up.
You know, Buck, to finish that thought about the stride of Thomas Pannone, he was an everyday player. And he said one of the things he learned when he was in the minor leagues, he was having trouble with his slide or his distance in his stride. And the pitching coach told him, hey, give me your stride when you were a hitter. And he gave him his stride like he was getting ready to hit. He said, there's your stride as a pitcher.
And he said ever since it's been exactly the same. When he has problems, he goes back to that thought, stride like a hitter.
And he's been very consistent. He has come up to the big leagues very quickly. His mechanics ironed him out in the minor leagues.
1-1 on Tommy Pham. Ground ball up the middle. Urania, nice grab, throws in time. Good play by the shortstop, Urania. Pannone strands her base runner. celebration, but it indeed was a celebration of his fine career as manager of the Blue Jays. A.J. Hinch, the manager, came out to exchange lineup cards with him. And then this is a terrific moment. John Birdie in his first big league game. Gibbons says, hey, come on over here. We'll get on TV together.
I'll tell you what, that was an emotional day. And, you know, Gibby, he like deflects a lot of that. He doesn't like that type of attention. But he's always the jokester right there. He's like throwing kisses to the crowd, and then he says, let me hear you. And that's well-deserved. He deserved that all the time and energy and everything that he's given the organization and how hard he has worked. Second most victories as a manager in Blue Jay history. He deserved that. Congratulations. I'm glad Blue Jays were able to win that game.
Yeah, that's what he said. He was asked earlier, what do you want to happen here this last day at home? He said, I just want to win. And the players delivered for him. His 792nd career win. He will have a winning record no matter what happens here in Tampa Bay. This is popped up. Joey Wendell, the third baseman, waits on it, and Billy McKinney pops out. First out of the inning. Tyler Glasnow, he's got his good stuff working early in this ball game. He's a very interesting guy. He's four-seam fastball and a curveball pitcher. He's got a wicked curveball.
And I think you know early if he's got that curveball. We saw him, his first start against the Blue Jays, he was dropping that thing in with regularity, and he ended up throwing 5 innings against them. Then the next time we saw him, he didn't have the curveball.
Yeah.
He lasted 2/3 of an inning, threw almost 40 pitches.
He has really done a great job of pounding that strike zone so far in this game. He's only thrown 6 balls. And it's not like he's all over the place. I mean, we have seen him bounce a couple of curveballs for strike 3, but it's a situation where you've got to honor 98.
Yep.
And start that swing, and you'll chase some breaking balls.
Going to have to recognize it out of his hand. Here are the numbers you were just speaking to. But you're going to have to recognize that curveball coming out of his hand. Try and lay off of it if it's low, because it's going to bounce out of the strike zone.
95 with some late movement, long run for Bowers, and he's not going to get to it.
Want to give a heck of an effort. Let's take a look at the scouting report for Tyler Glasnow. He stands 6'8", so he creates a really tough arm angle as that ball comes in. It's fastball, curveball. He's going to throw that mostly. A little slider, but that's more of like a cut fastball that naturally cuts when he gets on the side of it. And a changeup. I'd just eliminate the changeup if I were the Blue Jays.
They call Pilar for the swing on that breaking ball. That's Barksdale's down at first base. The ump brings up Pilar. Another strikeout for Glasnow.
The 2018 Honda CR-V, where style and versatility come together.
We are in St. Petersburg, Florida, on the Gulf Coast of Florida. Final series of the season. Tampa Bay has owned the series against the Blue Jays this season. This has always been a tough place for the Blue Jays to play here. The Rays have 49 home wins. They really have dominated teams playing here at Tropicana Field. They were 49 and 29 at home.
Do they have the same advantage of the Minnesota Twins back in the day when they played at the Metrodome? Remember that place? That was a crazy place to play a baseball game. White roof, just like this, small crowds when they weren't very good.
Ball is bounced, a fair ball. Bowers will step on the bag. We'll talk about that when we come back, but that's an interesting putt. Blue Jays go quietly to the top of the third. Glasnow and the Rays have a 3-1 lead.
hockey with a doubleheader. First, Max Domi and the Canadiens take on John Tavares and the Maple Leafs. Then, Johnny Gaudreau and the Flames take on the Canucks. It all starts a week today, believe it or not. Opening night right here on Sportsnet.
Well, Hazel, it'll be great to hear Jim Houston and Craig Simpson back once again on the broadcast as they want to get their season underway. Should be an exciting season. Certainly a lot of good things going on with the Toronto Maple Leafs.
I can't wait. I'm not real big. I don't know as much hockey as you do. But from everybody talking, it sounds like they got a pretty good team.
It's an exciting team, and bringing in John Tavares has really tied everything together. Mike Babcock's done a great job of bringing up these young kids. And what he has done is kind of what the Blue Jays have done. He's looking for character, teamwork, good team players, athletic players, two-way players that can skate up and down the ice with a lot of speed.
Talent.
Blue Jays are, and culture.
Yeah, gotta have talent. You gotta build that winning culture.
So window pops up into foul ground. Solarte over near the coach's box makes the catch. Wendell's retired, one away. Well, here's a real test, and this is what we have seen from Thomas Pannone. He struggled in the first inning, gave up 3 runs in the first inning, and then he said, okay, well, I'm sorting things out. He didn't have his curveball in that first inning, couldn't command it. And now gets the first out here in the 3rd inning, starting to get into the flow of the game.
That's exactly what Reese McGuire said before the game. He said there's something about that. If he gives up a run early, he has that ability. He just locks in and he just takes it to another level. High praise for a young catcher. These two have worked together a long time.
Breaking ball hit to the shortstop. Arena has it. Strong arm in time. Cron's retired, 2 away.
Much better curveball that time. More of a big break that time.
Thomas Pannone was part of a deal the Blue Jays pulled off July 31st last year, 2017. And Samad Taylor and Thomas Pannone were 2 minor leaguers they received in exchange for Joe Smith. At the time, nobody thought too much of it. A Double-A pitcher, look at his record, but the front office of the Blue Jays knew all about Thomas Pannone, knew his character, knew his background, thought that his stuff plays pretty well. This has popped up behind home plate. McGuire never saw it, Solarte never saw it. But fortunately, it was well back behind the seats. But they knew what they had in Pannone. Samad Taylor was a teenager with speed. He stole 44 bases this year in the Midwest League. And not a knock on Joe Smith, but he's a middle reliever. And you get 2 young, potentially major league players. It's pretty good trade.
And the Blue Jays did a lot of that this year at the trade deadline, trading veteran relievers to establish ball clubs for some younger players. All right, now how do you pull those things off? Well, you send your talent scouts out there and they look at organizations that you might have a fit with, and you look for a talent. Do you throw strikes? As a hitter, do you have power? Maybe you run. Give me one talent and then you build it from there.
Yeah, give me a tool that you're exceptional at. You don't have to have all of them, but one tool. And we'll see if we can build around that tool. Whether it's a breaking ball, strike zone command, good fielder, athletic.
You have to look into the future and say, okay, Thomas Pannone, does he look like a major leaguer? No, but he's got something. He's got some kind of pedigree that you like. Maybe you like his breaking ball. Maybe you have a lot of confidence in your instructors down in the minor leagues that you can bring that out, that you can get them to the major leagues. They've done a good job of recognizing that in other players and other organizations.
And that's what you do. You look at good organizations first, and then you say, well, they're good. Maybe they've got some kids that are backed up. They're blocked in the minor leagues. Let's go check out their minor league system. Strike 3 call. Thomas Pannone starting to get zeroed in on that strike zone. Strikes out Brandon Lau to end the bottom of the 3rd. We'll go to the 4th. It's a 3-1 game. Yankees, and this could be a preview of the ALDS that starts a week from today. Mookie Betts has been on fire for Boston, but Happ has pitched so well against that lineup. They don't have a hit through 3 innings.
You know who's heating up for the Yankees? Probably at the best time for him. Gary Sanchez.
Starting to swing it a little bit better.
Hit another home run tonight.
The Yankees, with that home run, have really challenged that home run record. Rowdy Tellez grounds out to the shortstop. That home run for the Yankees is 251 home runs now. The single season record, 264, held by the 97 Mariners. The Yankees were tied for the second most with the Rangers of 2005 at 250. Now they're within 4 home runs of tying that record, or setting the record. 3 home runs they'll tie it, 1 more home run and they'll win it. 264 home runs is the record now.
And how many do they have?
They have 261.
261.
Yeah.
I like their chances.
Yeah.
In Fenway Park.
Yeah.
Speaking of home runs, Teoscar Hernandez homered last time. Said it was August 9th. It was September 9th the last time he hit a home run. That was against Cleveland. He's doing a little something different. He said, I'm going to try and open my stance up just a little bit more. He helped me to see the ball, and you can see right there that front foot is a little bit back, a little bit open.
Remember, he tried this early in the season and for some reason got away from it. And now Brooke Jacoby has encouraged Teoscar to try it again. Said if he plays winter ball, he's going to use it in winter ball. Hit from an open stance, and it really allows you to get that front shoulder out of the way where you can really put your eyes on that baseball.
Yeah, he felt like he was tying himself up just a little bit. They're pitching him inside. He's opened up slightly, and I think they want to open him up just a little bit more, and that'll just open that front shoulder up and help him to track the ball a little bit better. Teoscar hit that home run. That's his 21st of the season to right field. Check it out on StatCast. AI is powered by AWS. 409 feet opposite field with an exit velocity of 105. There's nothing wrong with his power. He's got plenty of it.
57 extra base hits for Hernandez. And he takes ball 4. So that'll bring Reese McGuire to the plate, who had a fine moment Wednesday against Houston.
Says that's a great feel right there to be able to hit your first big league home run. You get to circle the bases. It's just a wonderful feeling. So he has now hit a home run in the major leagues. I like his swing. I think he really has a chance to be a good hitter at the major league level.
Hernandez still trying to get that sliding mitten on. Can't find the combination to it. Now he's all set. Get the Velcro strap around it. McGuire gets jammed and fouls it back to the screen. We talked about Glasnow and how slow he is to the plate. It's really a challenge for catchers if your pitcher is going to have a slow release time. And he's up 1-8, 2 flat, and that's just too much of a challenge for a catcher to throw and catch those base runners.
He's going to get a chance here. No chance.
What a jump. Teoscar was moving before Glasnow even started to move into his delivery.
Well, there's a tell that Tyler Glasnow has, and when he comes set, before he goes home, watch his glove. It starts up. Instead of the leg moving with the glove goes first, and as the runner behind there, watch, all he has to do is watch his right elbow. As soon as that starts to move, take off. There's absolutely no chance that they're going to throw him out.
McGuire goes after that curveball. Blue Jays just haven't been able to lay off that low curveball. ends up bouncing in the dirt. And it comes out of Glasnow's hand, and it looks like a fastball. Four of the 5 strikeouts he's recorded to this point have come on the curveball.
A lot of check swings too on those strikeouts.
Teoscar's going to third. Glasnow used the inside move. Now they have him in a rundown. Teoscar is going to be tagged out. Glasnow said, I've had enough of this. And the inside move gets Hernandez. He got a good break, but Glasnow was onto him.
Yeah, the inside move is instead of going home when you lift your leg, you just spin around and make sure your leg gets behind that pitching lever, and then you just deliver ball. You don't have to step off. He delivers it over the third baseman, and that runner in scoring position is picked off. Unfortunate time for the inside move. Teoscar was going.
Upstairs to Reese McGuire. 2-2 now, 2 outs. Another curveball in the dirt, another strikeout for Glasnow. So, Blue Jays are retired in order. The walk, and Glasnow picks off Hernandez from second.
His final home game, but the skipper still found a way to shine the spotlight on him. Bertie told me that during that pitching change, he saw Gibbons featured on the video board. He turned to his skipper and said, wow, that's a good looking mug right there. That's when Gibbons pulled Bertie in for an impromptu photo op on the big screen. Bertie said the gesture was pretty cool. He wasn't surprised knowing that Gibbons was a pretty humble guy. As for Bertie, his teammates were thrilled to see him pick up his first major league hit. Gibbons saying after everything Bertie has gone through, injuries, concussions, he said, quote, there's no one more loved in that clubhouse than John Bertie. Buck?
John Bertie has played 8 seasons in the minor leagues. You can see all of his teammates happy for him when he collected his first big league hit. He actually hit a rope his first at bat on the first pitch he saw in the big leagues.
Yeah, they were asking Gibby before the game today some of your highlights, some of your moments in 2018, and believe it or not, one of his was John Bertie. He said he's 28 years old. He said if Lourdes Gurriel doesn't get hurt, he doesn't come here. He said everyone in the organization loves him, love to see this happen. He said he's been good in the minor leagues, and he doesn't know where this is going to take John, but he said it could open up doors for other organizations or this organization. We just don't know. But I found that very interesting when Gibby was naming some of the highlights and some of the moments here in 2018 that he mentioned Bertie coming up here for the last week.
Off the end of the bat, Arena has been busy. Adames is thrown out. Thomas Panone's getting it locked in now. One more thought on John Bertie. He has played his entire career minus 25 games with the Blue Jays. This year they didn't have a spot for him, and they worked out a deal to send him to the Cleveland minor league system so he could play. Then when Vladdy Guerrero got hurt in Double-A, they sought out the Indians, say, you know, we could use Bertie back now, and they worked out a deal to bring him back to the organization. And John Snyder the manager at AA, was absolutely thrilled when he heard that he had a chance to get John Birdie back. He said he not only is a super player, play all over the diamond, but he's a character guy and he's a great influence on young players.
How about that? How about that? That the manager on a good team, they lost Guerrero and they wanted to have him back into the organization. Good for him. Good for him to stick to it.
Ground ball, fair ball. Velez will go to the bag as Meadows grounds out.
Hurry into Home Hardware's kitchen event, on now until October 9th. Here's how.
Actually, it was Jake Bowers. I was one ahead of myself. Bowers grounded out to Rowdy Tellez, second out of the inning. 2 ground ball outs here in the 4th. Aiden Naru retired by Pannone. This is Meadows. And there's a strike. This is what we've seen from Pannone in the past. He's just going to have to figure out how to get through those rough patches that he's had early in games.
At the beginning of the games, the Yankee game comes to mind. His last start was against this team right here, Tampa Bay, and he ended up giving up a run in the 3rd inning, and then one more in the 7th. But those first couple of innings have been rough, but the impressive part is his ability to lock in and find it, throw up some zeros.
With that, he reminds me an awful lot of Jimmy Key. You never see any rattle in anything he does. He's not overpowering. He won't blow the ball by you, but he never gives in, and he always thinks he's a pitch away from getting out of any situation. That was one of the strongest attributes Jimmy Key had. And Thomas Pannone strikes out Austin Meadows. How about 9 in a row shut down by Pannone? His 2nd strikeout of the game. Now time for Blue Jays Central Update. Here's Jamie Kemp with Joe Siddle and Kevin Barker in the Samsung broadcast studio.
Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Blue Jays home screen icons and features such as the MLB TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Don't forget to download MLB At Bat today. It's about a terrific way to keep up with the 2018 postseason.
It sure is, Hazel, and Hazel's going to do some postseason work. She's going to be sideline reporter for the TBS. Congratulations on that, Hazel. That's awesome. That's going to be a great opportunity for fans across the country to see Hazel do some work with TBS in the postseason.
Congratulations, Hazel. That's awesome. Well deserved.
This is Dwight Smith Jr. He struck out on a curveball back in the 2nd inning.
Speaking of those playoffs, they're going to be a lot of fun if they could ever figure out who's going to make it.
How about that? There are so many scenarios that are still alive, especially in the National League, not so much in the American League. New York's beating the Red Sox 4-0, top of the 4th at Fenway.
And again, if they win that game, they clinch home field advantage.
Yeah, then the American League's done.
In the wild card game.
So
Right.
Oakland will go to New York. New York will play Boston, and then they'll play the wild card game on Wednesday. Ground ball through the right side, base hit for Dwight Smith Jr. He's never seen a fastball he doesn't like. He can hit a fastball.
Pitchers think they can get in on him. They think he can throw that 98 inside. He's got that leg kick, something he developed when he was a young player, and he can still turn it around. Watch how he times up that fastball and pulls it into right field. Good start.
In the National League, the Cardinals, they lost to the Cubs today, so they're just about out of it now. The Dodgers and Giants play later on in San Francisco later on tonight. If you're not familiar with the Dodgers and Giants rivalry, this is the Giants World Series. Thinking about the possibility of knocking the Dodgers out of the postseason, and that's a distinct chance.
How many times has that happened between those two teams over the course of history?
Happens a lot. Played the last weekend of the season, close at first, but Smith's back in. Colorado has a one-game advantage over the Dodgers in the National League West. Colorado has won 7 in a row. But how about the Giants stacking up their rotation for this final series? Madison Bumgarner, Derek Rodriguez, and Andrew Suarez. 2 lefties and a righty. Pause we have now as the Rays want to look at that call at first base, and they're going to ask for the video review. So we will go under the headsets and check with New York. But to finish up the thoughts, Madison Bumgarner, Derek Rodriguez, and Andrew Suarez are the 3 Giant pitchers against Hyun-Jin Ryu, Clayton Kershaw, and Walker Buehler. That's must-see TV out west.
Keep an eye on that. Here's the play over at first base, and you know the Rays, they don't ask for a review on a play over at first base if they didn't see something that they don't like, and I think they're going to like this.
Boy, he puts that glove right on his elbow before the hand hits the base.
Right there.
You can see how the contact by Bauer's glove moved the hand of Smith before he got to first base.
If there wasn't something that they saw, I don't think they would have wasted one of their challenges here in the 5th inning.
They've had 71 calls overturned. That's pretty good percentage, 45.8%. So when they get notice from the video room, hey, let's check that one. We want to challenge that call on the field.
And if it's 50-50, if they're not really sure, they just wave it off and say, you know what, I can't waste my challenge here in the 5th inning. But this might be a play that gets overturned. Bowers goes out there to catch it. You can see he's a little bit closer, puts the tag on, and then the base moves. I think that shows you right there that they might overturn this one.
Ted Barrett's the crew chief. He's umpiring at third. Lance Barksdale made the call at first, so Barrett and Barksdale are listening into New York. They have the call, and he is out. And that's what we thought. The Rays continue to have a very high success rate. That's the 72nd call they've had overturned this season, over 45%.
Hey, 2 innings in a row, the Blue Jays have had a runner picked off. They had a runner at second base with 1 out. He was picked off last inning. Now a leadoff single is picked off over at first base.
So Tampa Bay wins that challenge, and now Richard Urena is the batter. Richard singled and stole a base back in the 2nd.
Wow. Those last 2 pitches lighten up the radar gun. Like he caught a second wind. He got excited after that play was overturned. He just threw those last 2 fastballs by him.
It's a hard breaking ball into Derek. Boy, Glasnow coming over here in Austin Meadows for Chris Archer. At the time, the Pirates were in the pennant race. They were contending in the National League pennant race, and they pulled the trigger on that trade. Early on, it looks like Tampa Bay might have got the better end of that deal.
They've got controllable players, although Chris is under contract, a very team favored contract for a couple of more years, a few more years. Yet these players are under contract and they are controllable for the next 6 years, each one of them. They also got a young pitcher, a 19-year-old pitcher who was a former first-round draft pick.
Shane Baz, a minor leaguer that they have high hopes for. Urania drives it into center field. He's 2 for 2. Swing it, Richard. Well, he has seen all this competition and he's stepped up to the challenge, hasn't he?
And what are you seeing day in and day out? The more he plays, you're seeing more confidence, and you're seeing a guy who's not up there. He's not panicking at all. That's a 2-strike breaking ball, and we've been talking about how good Glasnow's breaking ball has been tonight. And he just says, "Okay, we'll just take it nice, easy, boom, base hit." Look at those numbers over his last 6 games.
9 for 17. John Birdie, the batter. Urania picked up his first stolen base the last time he reached first. That was back in the 2nd inning. Blue Jays have 2 stolen bases, but they've also had 2 runners caught off base. Ball gets away from Moore.
I think you can make an argument, Buck, that Glasnow balks a lot more than what's called.
Why is that?
You only stop one time, but it looks like he comes to a stop, and then as he lifts his arms, he stops again. Or he doesn't stop. I believe he was called for a balk, wasn't he, the last time we faced him, that he didn't stop?
Yes, he was called for a balk last Saturday.
So you got to watch that, and I'm sure that's something the Tampa Bay Rays know all about, and they're going to try and clean that up. That's what the instructional league used to be for, right? You'd have major leaguers every now and then come down there.
Yeah, just to work on one thing.
Just to work on one thing.
Yeah.
And for him, it would be coming to set and delivering the ball a little bit quicker and not giving away when you're going home so quickly.
There goes Urania. High pitch. Throw is late. Another stolen base for Urania. That is so predictable. It's such a red flag. And everybody in the American League is starting to pick up on it. That he is so deliberate. And when he moves that glove, you can see the glove moves before the foot moves. Catchers don't have a chance.
No chance. Certainly something that you can work on and clean up.
Well, it is a simple problem, but sometimes pitchers can't break that habit. The Blue Jays don't steal many bases. They've got 3 stolen bases tonight.
There goes the arm. It's up. What you don't want to do, I think, if you're the Rays, is take away from his aggressiveness or change his pitching style or change his mechanics. There has to be a way where they can work on that so guys don't take advantage of it against them.
He strikes out Birdie with that good curveball. That will take care of a lot of issues with stolen bases. You continue to strike out batters. A little bit like Juan Guzman. You remember he had problems with base runners and they would steal a lot of him, but it didn't make any difference. He never gave up any hits.
Yeah. Don't let them on base. They don't steal. Boy, his curveball has been working. He's getting it close enough for the Blue Jays to go after it.
Billy McKinney hit a double his first time up. He popped out in the 3rd. 2 balls and no strikes. Blue Jays trail 3-1. Tampa Bay scored 3 runs off Thomas Pannone in the first inning. Rays got out to a quick start. Leadoff man Malik Smith hit a triple to start the game for Tampa Bay. And then Tommy Pham walked, and 3 batters into the game. Joey Wendell, the third hitter, drives in the first run of the game. C.J. Cron had a sac fly, and Willie Adames had an RBI single. 3-0 Tampa Bay.
They've had 1 base runner since. That was that single by Meadows leading off the second. Blue Jays got to cash him in here. Got to figure out a way to get that runner in.
3-1 now. This is where Glasnow has been able to use his breaking ball because it's so hard. Even though it's a fastball count, he's gotten a lot of swings and misses. Fastball, foul back. Full count now.
If he wants to throw a breaking ball, he can here. You got a tough left-handed hitter at the plate right now. And Billy McKinney, who's already had a double against him. First base is open. Take your chances with the right-handed hitter if he misses.
Kevin Pillar's on deck. There's the breaking ball right on the money, Pat. So Glasnow, not wanting to give in to Billy McKinney, walks him with a 3-2 breaking ball. Adam Moore will go out to the mound to have a chat with Glasnow.
I got the feeling he didn't want to throw a strike to him. It just seemed like the whole at bat. He just wanted to try to nibble at the corners or spike his breaking ball. He said, I'll take my chances with Kevin Pillar. Now, if I'm Kevin Pillar, I'm taking that personally.
So what are you looking for if you're Kevin Pillar now?
I'm looking for a fastball out over the plate this first pitch. He's going to want to try and get ahead of me. Strike 1. If you sit on that fastball and it's a breaking ball, you got to recognize it.
Pillar was looking for the breaking ball. You could see he timed it up, but just missed it. And Glasnow gets ahead of him. 3-1 Tampa Bay. The Blue Jays have out-hit the Rays 5-4. I tell you, Adam Moore, he's had his work cut out for him with that curveball. Well, you call it. You don't want to move too quickly because then you have a chance of taking a strike away from him. But you got to anticipate that curveball is going to be in the dirt.
He has been blocking that ball with any piece of his body that he can. That one again way out in front of home plate.
Ow. That hit Pillar flush. Trying to hang in there to guard against that curveball, and he got a fastball right in on his hand. Nicky Huffman, John Gibbons out to check on Pillar. You can see he looks like he's trying to get the feeling back in those middle fingers of that right hand.
That's the four-seam fastball. Kevin goes to swing at it and just can't pull those hands back in time. And it gets him right on the wrist.
Yeah, hit him on the wrist more than anything else. And that's why he was trying to stretch out those fingers. See where Tim Leeper is pointing to the inside of that right forearm.
You never want to get hit, you know, Buck, but if you're going to get hit, it's better to get hit on the meaty part of your arm than on the bone. The muscles can absorb that. He's telling Jake Bauer, he said, I can't feel my fingers. Put my hand to sleep.
That's the last thing you want to happen. You never want to get hit. You never want to get hurt. But right toward the end of the season, that's the last thing you want to have happen. So Glasnow, a little bit of a jam here. He walked Billy McKinney with 2 outs, and then he hit Kevin Pillar. Now, and Everest Solarte, man, he'll be anxious to swing on the first pitch.
He took that first pitch last time, so it was almost guaranteed he was swinging there. He's got ducks on the pond. He's got runners that he could knock in. He wasn't waiting around. He's got a grand slam this year.
Mourinho with his second hit, he's at third. McKinney's at second. Pilar's at first. This has been a tough inning. It's toughest of the night. This is the 5th inning. Off-speed pitch.
He's had that in his back pocket all night.
Right back with another curveball and strikes out Solarte. The Blue Jays leave the bases loaded. Glasnow's had that great curveball working all night. MVP, especially the way he is finishing up this season. He has really carried this Brewers team down the stretch.
Who in the National League like jumps off the page? Baez, I think, for the Cubs, for sure. Yelich. That might be the two players that we're talking about. Trevor Story's had a good year for Colorado.
High fly ball, Pilar. He's got plenty of room in center. He is there just on the edge of the warning track, and he hauls it in. Now Morris retired. The catchers hit it hard twice, but nothing to show for it. A couple of fly outs to center.
It's just bad hitting.
Not very smart. Don't hit it to center.
Yeah, pull the ball. Thomas Pannone is rolling right now. It's the 3rd time through the lineup tonight as he starts his way through the 3rd time.
Retired 10 in a row. Alex Smith's late on that fastball. You talk about MVP in the National League to finish up on that. Nolan Arenado, he's got 105 ribbies. Trevor Story, his teammate, has 105. Javi Baez leads the National League with 111. It's always a great discussion. MVP, the best player or the most valuable player? That's always a challenge.
Don't they have a most outstanding player award? Somebody has that. This is the most valuable. And my criteria is, if you took that guy off the team, does the team do what they would have done this year if he wasn't on that team? Do the Milwaukee Brewers do what they've done if Christian Yelich is not there?
there are a lot of people that would say, well, Lorenzo Cain's had a good year too.
Had a great year. Had a great year.
But that's a great discussion. Curveball missed downstairs. Yelich hitting .321. He's going to win the National League batting title. Got 34 home runs, as Jamie mentioned. He now has 105 RBIs, I believe.
When the Miami Marlins traded their whole outfield last offseason, Marcell Ozuna, Giancarlo Stanton, Christian Yelich, when they got traded, who did you say was going to have the best season of those three guys?
Everybody expected Stanton to have the best season.
Absolutely.
And people thought Ozuna would have a good season. I don't think anybody projected this type of season from Yelich. Yelich has 106 RBIs. Hit a 2-run home run.
It was almost, I don't want to say an afterthought, but it was almost like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, Christian Yelich, no big deal.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Boy, he's a very good player.
I think they're finding that out.
2-2 off Pannone. That's going to be a base hit. That'll snap a streak of 10 in a row retired by Thomas Pannone. Alex Smith has his second hit of the night.
Had a triple his first time up and scored the first run of the ball game, and now this comebacker goes off the leg of Pannone. Nicky Huffman's going to come out now to see if Thomas is okay. Where's it catch him? Right in the calf. Turns his back, hits him in the calf, ricochets over to Solarte. There's nothing he can do about that. Be an infield hit.
Well, Pannone, he couldn't do much about it. Couldn't get out of the way, couldn't field it. He was in an awkward position. Pete Walker, the pitching coach, out to make sure that Pannone's okay. He'll probably throw a pitch or two.
And what they're checking on right here is, does he have the strength in that calf to push off? It's the push off leg. That left leg of his, where you generate all of your power, where it starts from. Plant the foot and you push. It looks like he's going to be okay.
That line drive or bouncing ball off the turf, 96 miles an hour, caught Pannone on the calf. He's trying to walk it off. So Alex Smith is at first. Tommy Pham, the left fielder, he's gone 0 for 1 with a walk. Smith's always a threat to run. He's got 37 stolen bases this season. There he goes. Tellez throw to second off the glove of Urania into center field. Alex Smith will be stopped at third base, and the ball just comes into nowhere. But he holds at third. Urania a little too quick with the tag. It'll be an error on Urania, I would think. The throw was a strong throw from Tellez, a little bit high, but Urania trying to slap the tag on Smith. It'll be a stolen base and an error.
Smith was setting him up. He was leaning back towards first, but he was going over there. Pannone's too smart for that. He just had a throw over there, but the throw gets away from Urania out into center field. Now the infield has to come in. It's a good throw from Tellez, and Urania in his haste just missed the ball.
It's an error on Urania, the shortstop. Now the infield has to come in. Pham hits a fly ball to right. Smith's got good speed. McKinney makes the catch. Here's the tag at third. The throw to the plate. Strong throw, not in time. The error cashed in immediately by the Rays. The extra 90 feet allowed Smith to go to third. And he comes in on the sac fly by Tommy Pham.
Last year, this team was built on home runs and a lot of strikeouts. This year, it's built more on grinding out at bats and manufacturing runs with a little bit more overall team speed. That team speed comes in handy right here in the fifth inning. Infield hit, stolen base, error, and a sacrifice fly. Scores them a add-on run.
Joey Wendell takes the ball, showed bunt, pulled the bat back. For Tommy Pham, for the season, that's his 62nd RBI of the season. His 21st since coming to Tampa Bay. But you're right. The speed puts pressure on the defense. Pannone was aware that Smith was going to run. He throws to first, and then Arena was aware it was going to be close. Tried to be quick with the tag. Ball goes off of his glove. That allows Smith to go to third. Sets up the sac fly.
Yeah, it cost him another run. The Blue Jays a chance to get a little bit closer.
Off the plate. 3-1 to Joey Wendell, the third baseman. There's a fastball. Mark Leiter Jr. is starting to loosen up for the Jays. As the Blue Jays had an off day yesterday, so they should be a little bit refreshed down in that pen. Reese McGuire thought it was a strike. He was headed to the dugout window and headed to first. Second walk of the game by Pannone. Comes with 2 outs here in the 5th.
That'll bring Pete Walker back out just to give his young left-hander a little bit of a slowdown right here. Pannone has pitched since that first inning a whale of a game.
The 2018 Civic Type R, like no Honda you've ever seen.
Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida. Pitching coach Pete Walker out, probably to check on Pannone to see how that half feels after he got hit on the comebacker by Malcolm Smith. But also, he buys a little time for Mark Leiter Jr. down in the bullpen to get loose. C.J. Cron has a sac fly and a ground out. Base hit through the left side of the infield. Joey Wendell stops at second.
Last time Cron was up, he hit a changeup off the end of the bat and hit a ground ball to the shortstop. That time they went right back to the changeup, and it looked like he was waiting for it. There's the changeup. It's down. Same pitch that he grounded out the shortstop, but he slowed things down. He was looking for it and picks up a base hit.
First and second now. Brandon Lau, left-handed hitter against the lefty Thomas Pannone. Pannone comes back with a breaking ball, gets a hit. Chance for Pannone to get out of this inning, lefty on lefty. And the breaking ball back to the mound. Pannone takes his time. That'll end the inning, but the Tampa Bay Rays manufacture another run. Infield hit, stolen base, air, sac fly. They're taking a 4-1 lead.
coaching staff is up in the air. This afternoon, General Manager Ross Atkins met with each of the coaches here in Florida to tell them that they've been given permission to speak with other teams. They will, of course, be considered for jobs with the Blue Jays in 2019, but the next coaching staff will be constructed with input from Gibbons' replacement as manager. Like Gibbons, everyone is under contract for 2019. Some could be back, but typically, as you know, Buck, the new manager will want his own people in place, particularly that of a bench coach who is usually a confidant to the new manager.
Yeah, it's going to be a real interesting time for the Blue Jays, obviously. And generally, when a manager is fired, the next manager is kind of 180 degrees different. A little bit more of a disciplinarian. Possibly John's been a player's manager his whole life, and he's pretty laid back, and he's doesn't lack intensity. There's no question about that. We have seen him extremely intense, but he trusts the players to get ready to play and give him a good effort. But traditionally, when you make a managerial change, they're going to get the opposite of what you just had.
Totally opposite. And that doesn't mean all the coaches are going to be gone. I've seen teams that managers get hired and they keep a couple of the coaches from the previous coaching staff around because they're familiar with the players, they're familiar with the organization. But I think if you have a new manager, he has to have the right to have the people he wants to work with, who he's familiar with.
If you're confident enough to hire the manager, you should be confident enough in that manager to hire the right coaches. And obviously, you and I know this probably better than anybody. We see it every day. The coaches put in countless hours of work. It's unbelievable how much time they put at the ballpark.
You might come down to the ballpark and the gates open at 5 o'clock and you see the coaches down there, and they might be throwing batting practice or they might be hitting fungos, and then they go in and then you don't see them again until the game starts. Well, those coaches, they leave the hotel. I've seen a lot of them leave for a 7 o'clock game at 11 o'clock.
Rowdy Tellez hits it high and deep to right, and this one's gonna go. Get out of here, ball gone. Rowdy Tellez with his second home run against Tyler Glasnow, his fourth big league home run.
Well, he's got that home run swing down, doesn't he? He's big enough, he's strong enough, as his family loves what they're seeing from Rowdy.
Rowdy's family, his sister and his father Greg, his sister Amy, came out from Reno, Nevada. She's going to University of Nevada, Reno. First time she's seen Rowdy play as a professional, and he delivers.
What a great feeling to be able to home run for your family. It's a curveball. Rowdy says, you know what, I've had enough of these curveballs, the swing and misses. Look at the catcher. He's going to go over and block it. Well, it ends up in the stands in right field. Rowdy, second time that he has hit Glasnow. That was a tough curveball, and he just golfed it out of here.
Well, what he did was he stayed on it. He didn't cut his swing off. And Glasnow comes right back with a strikeout at Oscar Hernandez. 9 strikeouts now for Glasnow.
Here's the curveball. Stay on it. Look at that. No stride. That was impressive. That's a pretty good 2-strike approach. Look at the feet. No stride. Just go down there and get it and golf it out of here.
Reese McGuire was an opposite field single. A 1-out single for McGuire.
Number 27, Manfred Jr.
So the Rays have double barrel action in their bullpen. A righty and a lefty behind Tyler Glasnow. Glasnow has now thrown 90 pitches.
He's still got plenty of fastball left. He might be leaving it up just a little bit now. as he approaches 100 pitches.
Chaz Rowe is the right-hander. Adam Kolarek is the lefty. Sidearm lefty that's got good stuff. Downstairs to Dwight Smith Jr., who singled his last time up. Nice grab by the catcher Moore. 3-0 now. Richard Urania is on deck. He's already 2 for 2 tonight. There's a strike. It's 3-1. Teoscar Hernandez had a leadoff home run in the second. Rowdy Tellez a leadoff home run in the sixth. That counts for both of the Blue Jays runs. They trail 4-2 as the Jays bat top of the sixth. Urania 2 for 2. Ball 4. That'll push Reese McGuire down to second. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Well, the Yankees are putting on the Red Sox. That walk has knocked Tyler Glasnow out of the ball game. Adam Kolarek, the lefty, will come in to pitch to the switch hitting Richard Urania, who's already 2 for 2 tonight. Blue Jays threatening here in the sixth. And this will be the 5th time he has faced the Blue Jays, a total of 2 2/3 innings, his 31st appearance of the season for Tampa Bay.
And he's starting to pitch a lot more. He's gaining the confidence of Kevin Cash. This is his 14th game in the month of September. He throws a lot of ground ball outs, and I think that's what they like, what they see from him. He throws sidearm. He's got a great sinker, and when it's on, he throws plenty of strikes. He gets a lot of ground ball outs.
On Wednesday, he only faced one batter. He struck out Neil Walker, who, like Urania, is a switch hitter. So they've got confidence that the lefty can come in and get right-handed hitters out. Urania at the plate. McGuire advancing toward third, and Moore throws him out. Boy, that's a big out. McGuire reacting to the ball off the catcher's glove. Moore got to it quickly. We have seen the strength of his arm. He's got a strong arm.
Yeah, and a third base running mistake on the bases tonight by the Blue Jays. They've had a couple of pickoffs, and now this ball doesn't go very far. It's kicked around by Moore as he boxed up that inside pitch, but doesn't go very far. And no chance to advance on that one. The Blue Jays run into another out.
And Urania gets another base hit. Wouldn't you know it? Right after the base running mistake by McGuire, Urania delivers his 3rd hit of the night.
Number 64, John Bernie.
Grace McGuire reacted quickly, but you got to be sure if you're going to go to third in a chance like this. He was already in scoring position, and Wendell's waiting on the throw, puts the tag on McGuire. That's a big out.
Yeah, and wouldn't you know it, the next pitch singles. So got to come up with a 2-out hit now, score a run.
John Birdie. He has struck out twice, both against the starter Tyler Glasnow. Fastball upstairs, ball one. One and one now. Kolarik's got that sidearm delivery, but he's got a little zip on his fastball. I think he can pitch inside effectively.
That's where a lot of that movement is and where it comes from. Just got to set your sights as a hitter just a little bit lower than that arm slot.
And a chopper up the third baseline, but foul. Tyler Glasnow goes goes 5 innings. He's up 7 hits, 5 in the third, 7 hits. 2 runs to this point. He's responsible for the base runners on. Smith at second, Urania at first. Moore's having all kinds of problems behind the plate, isn't he?
And it looks like it's the pitch is to his glove side. Just can't turn that glove around to receive it correctly. He's fighting that inside pitch. Pulled that one right out of the strike zone.
Ground ball, base hit for Birdie. Smith's around third. He's going to score. Urania's headed for third. Birdie's headed for second. He'll get there standing up. And here comes Urania. He scores. Richard Urania's having quite a night.
He's doing it with the glove. He's obviously doing it with the bat with 3 base hits. And now he's going to do it with his legs. How about the heads up play by Luis Rivera to send him? The throw came into second base on that single to center field, and Lurie very aggressively sends that runner. Give Urania credit. Watch him go hard on this ball. He doesn't say, okay, I'm going to go first to third on this thing. I'm going to give my third base coach the effort. And when that throw comes in lazily to second base, the double clutch by the second baseman, Urania can score from first on that hit.
A 4-4 game with Birdie at second. Two RBIs for John Birdie and a double. Urania's had a big night. 3 for 3. Outside.
He gets a lot of ground balls, like we said. Well, here's a ground ball right back through the middle. Smith, the center fielder, was playing in right center field, had a long way to go. And instead of coming up firing to the plate, he goes to second base. And Urania, hustling all the way, scores from first on a ground ball back through the middle.
Popped up. Third baseman Joey Wendell makes the catch, but a good inning for the Blue Jays. They scored 3. In the top of the 6th, Rowdy Tellez hit a home run to start the inning. Luis Rivera waves home the second runner. Smith's in. Rivera says, come on, Richard. And he scores the tying run. It's a 4-4 game. maybe the most impressive is his trip around the bases.
Now watch him from first base. It's a single to center field. Now, as the base runner, you can't just assume you're going to go first or third. Give the effort the whole way. You run hard until your coach tells you to stop. He does that, and he scores from first basically on a base hit back through the middle.
Great hustle. And that's all the coach asks you. The third base coach said, just give me your best effort. And then Luis Rivera aggressively waved him home, and he scores the tying run. Nice night for Richard Urania. And Thomas Pannone back out. Pannone now pitching in a tie game. Willie Adames has an RBI single and a ground out. A 4-pitch walk to start the inning, and Blue Jays have 2 pitchers throwing. Mays is just now starting to get loose. Petrichka close to being ready. It shouldn't take him long. He was up early in the half inning.
Yeah, he got up as soon as the Blue Jays tied this up, and he started getting loose. You know, he was cruising right along, Thomas Pannone. I'm just wondering how much that comebacker affected him. Remember, it was his back leg, that push-off leg.
He got hit by that comebacker last inning. Alex Smith hit a hot shot that hit Pannone in the back of his calf. Jake Bauers is 0 for 2 so far. He's late on that pitch. It's 0-2. Again, this is what you get with Thomas Pannone. He gave up 3 in the first battle, gave up another run in the 5th. Then his team scores in 3, gives up a leadoff walk, and now he's ahead 0-2. He makes adjustments on the fly.
Yes, he does. As his catcher says it, he says he might give up a run early. You never want to do that, or a couple of runs, but then it just seems to lock him in, and his focus gets a little bit higher, and he starts pitching with a little bit more purpose.
It's a high pop-up. This is going to be down near the Rays bullpen, and it hits the catwalk, and it hit it in foul territory, and it lands in the seats.
That ball was going to be able to be played by Billy McKinney. But he hit one of those catwalks. You can see Pannone looking up there saying that should have been an out. But if
there are 4 rings here.
Sure. And if it hits one of them and it comes back into play, you can catch that. And McKinney looked like he was ready to catch it, but it hit the catwalk and bounced foul.
Breaking ball. Thomas Pannone now up to 88 pitches. Courtesy throw over to first. There are 4 catwalks here, and they are labeled A, B, C, and D. The lowest of the 4 rings is the D ring. And they've always been a point of interest coming into this ballpark. A lot going on up there in that roof. 2-2 pitch called, strike 3. Jake Bauers is called out on strikes, looking for that off-speed pitch.
That's pitching. Having idea what that hitter's trying to do, and then pink that fastball. Here it is. He's looking curveball. You cross him up and throw one right down the middle. That fastball's got a little extra zip to it.
that step off and snap throw from Pannone. He has used that effectively in the past. Picked off a runner earlier this season.
You got to be a good athlete to be able to do that. Step off and snap throw over to first base.
Curveball in there for a strike to Austin Meadows. 0-1. Meadows has had a ground ball single up the middle, and he struck out, swinging at a curveball back in the fourth. Curveball in the dirt. Four ball game. We're in the bottom of the sixth. Tampa Bay had a 3-0 lead. They scored 3 in the bottom of the first off Thomas Pannone. Meadows checked his swing. Blue Jays pitchers should be ready in the bullpen. Petrichka, the right-hander. Meza, the lefty. Adam Moore is on deck.
Yeah, they're just standing down there. They're hot. They are ready to go. It's up to Gibby's decision what he wants to do. Does he want Pannone, if he loses, Meadows to face Moore? Or does he want to bring in the right-hander to face him, and then Kevin Cash could go to his bench then?
Moore's had a couple of good swings at Pannone. Curveball for a strike. Moore's hit 2 deep fly balls to center field. He's flied out twice against Pannone, but he's had a couple of good passes at him. Be interesting to see if Gibby thinks that same way. Two and two. Double play. You won't have to even consider that next move. Line drive, base hit into right field. Adames around second. He's headed for a third. Austin Meadows, his second hit comes on a curveball. He is 2 for 3.
He's a good looking player. He's had some really good at bats against the Blue Jays in his short time. Gibby now making sure that Petrichka is ready. And it is Jake Petrichka, the right-hander.
So Gibby calls for the right-hander. The scheduled batter is Adam Moore, the catcher. So Pannone will leave here in the sixth with 1 out and 2 aboard. Moore goes back to talk to the hitting coach, Chad Mantola. Petrichka's coming in. Gibbons with a few words for Pannone as he paused on the mound. Pitching change here in this 4-4 game. We'll come back after this. Wright is a career .296 hitter with 242 home runs. He's had a couple of 30 home run seasons. He drove in 100 runs 5 different times in his career, but he has dealt with back issues that have really knocked him out of the game.
Great player. Jake Petrichka for the 41st time. Boy, that's a Rays play right there if I've ever seen one. That first and third fun play by the Rays. It's a safety squeeze. If he gets it down, you score the run from third and get the guy into scoring position from first base. Heads up call by Kevin Cash to get a run back.
Joe Madden used it to perfection, and the Rays were the best at doing that. It's a terrific play, and as it happens often, it's a base hit, an RBI, a run in, everything goes the Rays' way. Adam Moore pulled it off perfectly.
You got the second baseman pulled towards the bag in double play depth. You got the first baseman holding the runner on, so you want to bunt it up the first base line. Get it by the pitcher. That's all you're thinking about. And Moore's going to beat it out. Boy, what a play. That's a heads-up play by the manager.
It's such an easy play to do, and look at the effort. All he has to do is square around. He just slaps it to the right side, and Amos jogs in with the go-ahead run. I just don't understand why more teams don't do it. First and third, I mean, that second baseman's back. He's asking you to bunt it to him.
Yeah, all you have to do is get it by the pitcher. And you're guaranteed an RBI. Your team gets a run. You're guaranteed that guy getting into scoring position. You turn the lineup over if you bring up one of your best hitters. And the added bonus is he'll be able to beat it out.
That's Adam Moore's first RBI since 2015. He did not make it to the big leagues last year. His 22nd big league RBI. He has spent parts of 9 different seasons in the majors. Most he's ever played in the big leagues was 2010. He played in 60 games with the Mariners. But he picks up a big run here. It's a go-ahead run in the bottom of the 6th.
That's where they are so different from last year, this team here. This is more like a Rays team we saw when Joe Madden was running the show. A lot of team speed. A few power hitters. They don't have many. A few power hitters, but tough. And I mean tough at bats.
Last year, Logan Morrison was their first baseman. He struck out 149 times. Corey Dickerson struck out 152 times. Steven Souza Jr. struck out 179 times. There was a lot of empty at bats in that lineup last year. Fly ball center field. Pillar's on the run, and he's got to run it down. Kevin Pillar can really go get him. He took off, turned his back to the infield, and runs it down. Takes a hit away from Alex Smith.
Well, there's a couple of runs right there that he saved. If that ball gets over his head, both runners had already moved up to their next base, and they were getting ready to tag it. Smith tags this ball to left center field, and Pillar knows he's got a lot of room to run this one down, which he does right in front of the fence, and there are the runners scurrying back to their bases.
Pillar knows this ballpark very well. He's played here a lot, and he knew he had some room in that direction. So Malik Smith is retired, second out of the inning. This is the tough Tommy Pham. He goes after the first pitch.
Pham is tough. Yeah, got to do more of those pull-ups right there. Get a little bit stronger and hit it over his head.
Tommy Pham last year with the Cardinals had 22 doubles, 23 home runs, 25 stolen bases, and hit 300. The first Cardinal since 1900 to do that.
And your reward?
Gets traded.
You get traded? I don't get it.
Yeah, he got traded. Obviously, they got an extra outfielder in Osuna from the Marlins, but he was traded here to the Rays on the 31st of July for some minor leaguers. Just needed to free up some space.
He's just a great athlete. He was telling us before the game today that basketball is his first love.
He grew up in Las Vegas. He also grew up with a lot of NFL players that are currently playing in the NFL.
When he was a kid on his football team, DeMarco Murray, Brandon Marshall, Quinn Carter, all friends of his from the Las Vegas area when he was a kid playing football. He gave up football, did not play it in high school, played basketball. And he's a pretty darn good baseball player.
Yeah, and he's had a lot of physical issues. He had a broken wrist early in his career, a torn labrum in his shoulder. And he had a situation with his eyes that his corneas were really a problem. He had to have surgery on that. And he walks. And Tommy Pham has been a real revelation for this team in Tampa Bay.
Well, that'll be another pitching change because a left-hander is coming up. Bases loaded. John Gibbons is out. He's already called for Tim Meza to put this fire out. As the Rays are threatening again.
Tampa Bay has the lead. Meza coming into the game for Jake Petrichka.
Your attention, please.
Wendell Mesa's had lefties to a .224 batting average. This will be his 36th appearance. And Tim Meza has really taken strides this season.
Yeah, he's also going to have to strand some runners, which he's done a good job this year of doing, and he's taken those strides. Look at the strikeouts per 9 innings, over 1 an inning. He's commanding his pitches a lot better the second half of the season. His slider has been a heck of a lot better. He's only walked 14 batters this season in 35 innings. He's really taken a big step, I think, this year in his development as a pitcher.
Fastball slider, and he's got a wipeout slider. Mentioned his batting average with the lefties is just .224. Righties have hit .253 against him.
He's the guy right now that they're calling on to shut down this rally and leave those runners out there. He's come in and inherited 23 runners and only 3 of them to score. There's the numbers right there. Got to do it again.
Bouncing ball, Birdie at second, throws to first in time, and Meza gets out of it. And Meza inherits the bases loaded and strands him. Birdie with a nice defensive play to end the inning, but Tampa Bay has taken a 5-4 lead as we head to the 7th. making his 4th start against the Blue Jays this season. He will end up throwing 95 pitches, 5 1/3, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, and 9 strikeouts. His curveball was wicked early in the game, but he'll end up with a no decision. Third pitcher of the night to work for Tampa Bay is the right-hander, Chaz Rowe.
Yeah, both starters can only go 5 1/3 innings tonight, so it's going to be the bullpen from now on. Chaz Rowe has had a really good year. A very underrated year, I think, for the Tampa Bay Rays. In 59 games, he's 1-3, but his ERA is 3.49. Lots of strikeouts with that hard breaking ball. Blue Jays saw him back at Rogers Center the last time we faced him last weekend. 4-game series. They saw Chaz Rowe.
Kevin Pillar in the 2 spot. Kevin has struck out twice, got hit by a pitch. Breaking ball, he just got out of the way in time of that one. Seventh inning. Blue Jays have out hit the Rays, but they trail 5-4. Breaking ball called up. You can see Rowe asking the umpire, was that up? Certainly was over the plate, but it was called high, 2-0. Now it's 2-1. Jose Alvarado, a hard-throwing left-hander, starting to loosen up for Tampa Bay.
Both of these bullpens very deep. September baseball, a lot of arms down there, a lot of options.
Up the middle, base hit for Kevin Pillar. He's around first. He's thinking about 2. Here's the throw from Alex Smith, not in time. Kevin Pillar came hustling out of the box, picks up his 39th double of the season. A big double to start this inning.
Yeah, he was paying attention last inning when Birdie hit the same exact type of ball. Ground ball back through the middle. The center fielder, Malik Smith, playing deep. He's got a long way to go. Look where the center fielder's playing. He knows that. Pillar does. As the center fielder, Smith gets over there and he turns it into a double.
Good hustle by Pillar. Boy, what a tone setter that is to start the inning. A hustle double. Now Solarte's got to at least move him over.
He's thinking about it. He is trying to roll over on that ball. Here's Kevin Pillar. Look where his eyes are. He's checking to see where that center fielder is. He's checking to see where the ball is, and he knows he's got a shot at turning that into a double.
Solarte behind 0-2. Trying to pull that ball on the ground, especially when you get 2 strikes. You got to sacrifice your at-bat and move that base runner up. Pillar gets the lead off double.
3 straight breaking balls from Chaz Rowe. That's the easiest pitch for a left-hander to pull. At some point, you got to figure there's going to be a fastball away or a fastball up and away. So young Nervous, he's just got to be disciplined enough to lay off of it if it's off the plate.
Way off the plate with the fastball.
Yeah,
1-2.
That's just to set up this next pitch. I mean, they can go up and away again here in my mind if they want to see if he'll go after it, maybe pop it up, maybe swing through it, or they can try and backdoor breaking ball. Those are the 2 options that he has right here. And if you're nervous, as a ball comes down on the field, if you're nervous, you gotta recognize the pitch, and you gotta make contact. Jazz Rowe has a good breaking ball, and he will use it.
It's a funny breaking ball. It looks like it just kind of breaks almost like a frisbee. Ground ball to third. That's not going to help. Solarte grounds out. 1 out. Let's check in again with Jamie Campbell. Well, that's an interesting team. The Brewers went out and they added a lot of players in the offseason. They continued to add players, bringing in Mike Moustakas. Eric Kratz, the catcher for the Brewers, has done a nice job for them as well, the former Blue Jay. So it'll be Alvarado to face Rowdy Tellez here. Tellez doubled off Alvarado the last time they faced each other. Rowdy Tellez, the cleanup hitter, with a man at second and 1 out.
Alvarado with a big arm, and here comes Rowdy to face him once again. And his last time up, he knows that Tyler Glasnow has a big curveball. He picks on that low curveball. Look at that ball down and in, and somehow he's able to keep that ball fair down the right field line. Another home run for Rowdy Tellez. That's Rowdy's 4th home run already this month.
13th extra base hit. We mentioned he doubled off Alvarado at Rogers Center last Saturday.
You know he's ready to swing it. I believe that was on the first pitch he saw from Alvarado.
Up and in. That was in the 8th inning of that ball game. The Blue Jays scored 2 runs in that 8th inning. They busted open. That fastball up and in. He barely got his hands out of the way.
I think he broke the mitt of the catcher with that 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Had a lot of movement, a lot of run on it. And Moore said, timeout, I need a new glove.
Yeah, catchers will have backup gloves in the dugout. He's probably got it down in his catcher's bag. And what happens is the laces on that webbing, they will break from time to time, and during the course of the season you might relace those gloves 2 or 3 times. The catcher's mitt, excuse me, it's not a glove, it's a catcher's mitt. I know that, of course. So it's 1-0 to Tellez. '98. It's another situation of what do you want to hit? Want to hit the fastball till you get the 2 strikes.
Swing early. He's going to give you a fastball. Like I said, it's triple digits, and it's a very hard curveball also with some power and some depth, and he'll use that curveball as an out pitch.
Alvarado's breaking ball is 88 miles an hour. So Moore not giving Alvarado the pitch he wanted, and they'll have a meeting about it. Alvarado throws a curveball as well. It's 83, but that hard slider is 88.
Yeah, that's a wipeout pitch, a pitch that he will use to finish off hitters.
Kevin Pillar still at second base. He led it off with a hustle double out of the box and ground ball through the infield and made it to second. Just upstairs. Tellez has shown good plate discipline.
Yeah, he has.
He doesn't swing at a lot of balls out of the zone.
We haven't seen a lot of him, obviously, over the years. Just what we have seen in spring training.
Hits it, gets jammed. It's booted by the second baseman, Lau, and Tellez is going to reach. That'll be an error on the second baseman. His first error at second, and it's a big-time error. Pillar moves over to third.
Lau has been playing all over the field, and this one he lets the ball play him. He just doesn't move on it, just stays there. If he backs up, he catches it on the big hop. If he comes in, he catches it on the short hop, but he just stayed right there and got handcuffed on that in-between hop.
You're right, he just kind of froze when the ball was coming off the bat. So Teoscar Hernandez with a home run already tonight. '98. Oh, what a block by Moore. He's had plenty of practice at that tonight.
Yeah, Tyler Glasnow is dropping that curveball out in front of home plate. He must have blocked 5 or 6 of them. Right now, he's going to save a run. That's textbook right there. Go down to your knees, smother that ball. You're not trying to catch it, you're trying to block it.
Inside. 2-1 now. Alvarado, the fourth pitcher to work for Tampa Bay. Glasnow started. Kolarek in for 2/3 inning. Rose started this inning. He got just 1 out. That was the Solardi ground out.
Double by Pillar, the outs, and now the error has given the Blue Jays an opportunity to cash in a run. Wow, there's another box up right there. That 99-mile-an-hour fastball's got some movement on it.
Yeah, and it's an unusual moving fastball because it looks like it darts right at the end. Watch the movement.
This one's going to go for a wild pitch if it doesn't hit Teoscar. It ricocheted off the glove, the shin guards, and then off of Teoscar. Now he's in the driver's seat, if you ask me. 3-1.
Ball 4, that'll load the bases. So the Blue Jays have a lot of bats on the bench. Reese McGuire was the scheduled batter to face the lefty Alvarado. And with that walk to load the bases, Randall Grichuk has come out on deck, and he is getting loose. He will bat for Reese McGuire.
Right. This time of the year, if you don't start your #1 players, you got a lot of firepower on that bench, and the Blue Jays have just that. Randall Grichuk, everyday outfielder, is going to come off the bench. You've got Danny Jansen, you've got Aledmys Diaz. Of course, you got Justin Smoke and Morales. A lot of options for John Gibbons, and that's why Kyle Snyder, the pitching coach, the youngest pitching coach in all of baseball.
He's a good pitching coach too, and obviously look at their numbers. He's done a fine job this season. First year as the pitching coach in the big leagues. He's had a lot of these pitchers in the minor leagues as they've made their way to the Rays.
He and Kevin Cash played together in the Red Sox organization. That's how they know each other. That's why they're familiar with each other. He brought him over here after Jim Hickey left, the great pitching coach who's now with the Chicago Cubs. Snyder was over in the minor leagues with this team, brought him up to the big leagues.
So here we go, game on the line for the Blue Jays, no doubt about it. They got the bases loaded. They trail 5-4. They've out-hit Tampa Bay 10-8. Randall Grichuk getting an opportunity here. He comes off the bench. Grichuk as a pinch hitter, 1 for 3 this season.
Pitching coach goes out. He talks to him. You got to look dead red fastball.
There it is, 98. Grichuk has 3 career pinch hit home runs. The Blue Jays as a team this season have 4 grand slams. Hard breaking ball in the dirt. How hard is it for a regular player like Grichuk to come off the bench and pinch hit?
I'm sure he's been back right behind the dugout here, his batting cage. And I'm sure he's been back there getting loose, saw the situation. When Alvarado was down in that bullpen warming up, I'm sure Randall was up there taking some swings.
Base hit to right field. This could score 3. 1 run is in. Pilar's across. Here comes Tellez, and here comes Hernandez. He's going to score. Randall Grichuk's at third with a 3-run triple.
Yeah, the Blue Jay fans are letting them know the appreciation of that pinch hit. One swing of the bat's going to get the Blue Jays 3 runs and give them the lead. How about that? Grichuk has been coming up with all kind of extra base hits here in the second half of the season. And here comes another one. 3 runs are going to score. He's going to send himself all the way to third base, as the Blue Jays are going to take the lead on this triple by Randall Grichuk. Look at Randall. He's got that run. He sees it. He sees where that ball is. Belly flops into third base with 3 more RBI.
For Grichuk, that's his first triple of the season. And he is now out of the game in favor of the pinch runner. Jonathan Davis is at third. The infield is drawn in. The Blue Jays have a 7-5 lead. Danny Jansen. He's batting for Dwight Smith Jr. It's the natural move. You put Davis in as a pinch runner. He can play left field, and Danny Jansen will take over behind the plate. Another run out there for the Blue Jays.
He's having all kind of problems with that fastball. So if you're the runner over there at third base, I'm sure Louis Rivera is going to tell him. He's going up to talk to Jonathan Davis right now. Hey, he's boxing up a couple of these fastballs and these breaking balls. Be alive.
Two 2-0 to Danny Jansen. 3-0. Alvarado's not close. Jansen is 1 for 4 this season as a pinch hitter. He's batting .260 on the season with 3 homers and 8 RBIs. Ball 4. A 4-pitch walk to Jansen.
What a night Richard Arena has put together so far. 3 singles, a couple of stolen bases, a run. Pretty good defense out there at shortstop, and a base running that was sensational from first base.
Great job of scoring all the way from first base.
Have a capper right here. I mean, really have a night.
3 for 3. Alvarado's really lost the strike zone.
Yeah, he's fighting himself too. After that last one, he was looking up in the sky saying, I don't know if I can get the ball over the plate.
Arena's never had a 4-hit game. He's 3 for 3 already. Boy's going to go out there and try to help out Alvarado. Hunter Wood loosening up in a hurry.
Hurry into Home Hardware's kitchen event, on now until October 9th. Here's how.
Jose Alvarado hasn't been able to find the strike zone. He's only thrown 5 strikes, 13 balls.
And when he did throw them, they hit it. Grichuk hit a triple down the right field. Rowdy Tellez got on an error, and that opened up this whole inning, if you ask me.
13 ground ball. Should have been an out.
Yeah, turned the complexion of this inning all the way around. Would have been the second outs. Runner would have been at third base with 2 outs. Changed everything.
Alvarado finds the strike zone now. It's 2-2. Alvarado, the first batter he faced was Rowdy Tellez, and that would have been the second out of the inning.
Yep.
A ground ball to second, but Brandon Lau booted it.
Still just 1 out.
Way up. Been a rough inning for Alvarado. Three-two pitch. Runner Gord, swing and a miss. Johnson stops. Now he's in a rundown. Jonathan Davis didn't break for home, and Jansen gets all the way back. But the strikeout was the second out of the inning. That was interesting. Jansen did a nice job of not running into the final out of the inning, and they were able to get out of it.
Yeah, they're trying to steal a run here. They're trying to force that throw, and then you stop, you get into a rundown long enough to let that runner with a lot of speed at third base try and score. But they weren't going to have anything to do with that. They weren't going to unload that ball. Alvarado with the strikeout and another pitching change here in the 7th.
authority of Rogers Blue Jays baseball partnership and may not be reproduced or reinstated in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays baseball partnership. Rowdy Tellez with a big home run, his 4th big league home run. That started the 3-run rally in the 6th inning. Blue Jays have scored 3 more here in the 7th. John Birdie, the batter against Hunter Wood. Ground ball up the middle, safe at second, throw to first. And that'll end the inning. They started Jansen at first, trying to create a hole on the infield, but Birdie hit it right to the second baseman. And that'll end the inning with the Blue Jays with 3 big runs. Randall Grichuk with the big 3-run triple coming off the bench. And the Blue Jays have the lead as we go to the bottom of the 7th. He goes 5 1/3. He gave up 3 runs on 3 hits in the first inning and actually settled down pretty effectively. He pitches into the 6th inning. 5 earned runs, walked 3 and struck out 3. Took him 94 pitches, but he really had his problems in the first inning. And now Joe Biagini will take over here in the bottom of the 7th. Biagini will be the 4th Blue Jay pitcher to work here this evening.
Yeah, and it's only the 7th inning. Pannone pitched into the 6th inning. Mazo got a 1/3 of an out. Patricia got a 1/3 of an out, 1/3 of an inning, and now Biagini. Here are Joe's numbers in his 48 games this season. Opponents are hitting .316 against Biagini. I think he's got to come in here and just establish his fastball right away.
Danny Jansen, who came in as a pinch hitter, takes over behind the plate, and the pinch runner, Jonathan Davis, is now playing in left field. C.J. Cron takes ball 1 from Biagini. Ball 2. Trying to establish that fastball, but he's missed first 2 pitches. The Blue Jays bullpen is already up and working behind Joe Biagini.
He's trying to establish that fastball. Throwing a couple of good pitches and just didn't get the calls here.
C.J. Cron goes after a borderline pitch. It's now 2-1. Ryan Chapera and Jose Fernandez, lefty and righty for the Blue Jays. Two and 2 now. Blue Jays are 5-11 against Tampa Bay this season. They've always had their problems, especially in this ballpark. Tampa Bay trying to win their 50th home game of the season. Trail 7-5. Biagini bounced that breaking ball in the dirt. It's now a full count. Ball 4. Biagini walks the leadoff man here in the 7th. Brandon Lau, the second baseman, 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Biagini has allowed runs in 5 of his last 14 outings.
Last time out against Houston, he pitched an inning and a third. Just gave up a scratch hit and had a walk. I mean, established his fastball when he was a little bit more aggressive in that outing against Houston. He'll get his share of ground balls when that sinker's working. Be a good time to use it right here. They can use that ground ball double play.
There has not been a double play turned in this game tonight. Ball in the dirt.
Oh, it turned that fastball over. Here it was right there.
97, but
go. He's throwing hard.
Just got to broaden your target. Now Pete Walker's going to come out and have a chat with Biagini.
I think this message should be, hey, we've got the lead. We can't defense any walks. You got to throw it in there and give them a chance to hit it. If they knock it out of the ballpark or they start hitting you around, we're going to have to take that chance. Joe's got outstanding stuff when he's in the strike zone. Moves all over the place. Has a very high ground ball rate. You're in the middle of the lineup right here. Just attack him. Probably only have 1 inning.
2 balls and a strike on the second baseman, Brandon Lau. Base hit to left field. Crone will stop at second base. So a walk and a base hit to start the bottom of the 7th. So the Rays get the first 2 on against Biagini. Willie Adames will bat. He has a hit and an RBI tonight. He also walked and scored a run. That was back in the 6th. So Blue Jays have seen this act a lot from the Rays. They are a late and a comeback team. They have played the Blue Jays tough always in this ballpark. Ball 1. Adames is just 1 for 2. He's only had 2 at-bats against Biagini. He's 1 for 2.
He's been doing that against the Jays in his young career. Came into this game with a career .390 average against the Jays in 41 at-bats. He's already had an RBI single and a walk. And right now he's got a 2-0 count that he can deal with.
He's got some power. He's got 10 home runs. That average up now to 295 against the Blue Jays. 395, excuse me.
Yeah, came in at 390. He's had 5 points.
3-0.
Bullpens, both bullpens struggling to throw strikes tonight. We saw Alvarado's numbers. There's Joe's. He's thrown 13 pitches, 9 balls.
Strike one. It's now 3-1. (7-5). The Blue Jays lead it, but the Rays are threatening in their half of the seventh. Now it's swung at a tough pitch.
Yeah, too close to take. He's an aggressive swinger who's under control. I know that might sound like a crazy statement, but he is an aggressive swinger, but he's got a pretty good idea of the strike zone. He's very aggressive when you throw strikes.
Three and two pitch, nobody out. Pulls that one foul. Adames just 23 years old. He turned 23 at the start of September. In his rookie season, of course, this is his 83rd game. Biagini strikes him out. One out. Let's check it with Jamie Campbell. How about that? Hicks, Sanchez, Judge, and Voit all homering tonight to tie the single season record. Pitching change here. Fernandez into the ball game. Biagini out. Blue Jays lead at 7-5. Lots of interesting matchups out there in the National League, especially in the West, of course, with the Dodgers and Rockies. To start play, the Rockies have a lead over the Dodgers, and the Dodgers will play the Giants later on.
Yeah, by one game. They have a lead on Colorado. Jose Fernandez into this ball game. A left on left. They got Bowers and then Meadows, a couple of lefties coming in. With just one out. That strikeout of Adames was huge. It was 3-0 and he came back to get him. And now Fernandez.
Bowers swings and misses. Ball on a strike. Bullpens have had a steady march into this game tonight for both teams. Fernandez, the fourth reliever to work for the Blue Jays. Petrichka, Meza, Biagini, now Fernandez. Strike 2. Breaking ball in there. Jake Bowers, the first baseman, has gone 0 for 3. Struck out his last time.
Hitting just 184 against left-handed pitching. Give him another good breaking ball.
There's a breaking ball hit in the air. Billy McKinney is there. He makes the catch. Bowers is retired. He's 0 for 4. Austin Meadows is the batter. He's 2 for 3 so far. He singled twice off Thomas Pannone, the starter. Fernandez has opened some eyes as well since he's come to the big leagues. He's shown the ability to get that breaking ball in there.
Yeah, look at him in this tough situation right here. 7th inning. His team just took the lead. First and second, 1 out. Just keep dropping that breaking ball in there. You want to be a left-on-left specialist, you have to be able to get lefties out.
Hitters have hit just .222 against Fernandez since he's come to the big leagues. Lefties have hit .238 against him. He needs to improve on that. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. C.J. Cron's at second. He started the inning by walking against Biagini. Then Brandon Lau got a base hit to left field. He's at first. And Biagini struck out Willie Adames. And Bowers flied out to right. Two balls and 2 strikes.
This is where the infielders got to want the ball right here. You got to want that ball hit to you. Keep it on the infield. There's holes on the left side of the infield, but you want that ball hit to you. Keep it on the infield, save a run.
That has been a good job of fouling that pitch out. Outside, it's a full count. It's a 2-run game. The Blue Jays lead 7-5, so the runners will be off and running from second and first.
Rowdy Tellez letting everybody know, saying, hey, ground ball plays right here over at first base.
There go the runners. Swinging a high fly ball to right. This got a chance to hit something up there, but Billy McKinney is there to make a catch. He stayed with it, caught it in foul territory. Just missed the catwalks, and the Rays strand a pair. Will go to the 8th.
programming for over 40,000 children and youth all across Canada. To learn more about Jays Care's work and to see highlights from the year that was, visit jayscare.com/impact. Beth.
Thank you very much, Hazel. There's a shot from outside Tropicana Field as Vidal Nuno comes in. Of a pitching change for Tampa Bay. Nuno will be the 5th reliever to work here tonight, his 17th appearance of the season.
He was a starter in the minor leagues when he pitched in the Indians organization, the Yankees organization. He was a starter, so he's got all 4 pitches. He's been mostly a bullpen guy over the last few years at the major league level. There are numbers right there, 32 innings for Nuno. He is a strike-throwing machine with all 4 of those pitches.
Top of the order for the Blue Jays as Billy McKinney takes his strike. As advertised, Nuno throws a strike to the first batter he faces.
Spent some time on the disabled list with a right hamstring strain. He missed almost 2 full months.
Big bouncing ball for the Rays as Nuno gets the first out. Brandon Lau, he's looking at that bad hop. What did that hit? Because he came up to smooth out the dirt. Took a wicked hop on him, but he was able to make the play.
He hasn't had a lot of fun around second base tonight. Had an error that opened up the inning for the Blue Jays last inning. And now this one. This is a routine ground ball. 1, 2 hopper. And it looked like it hit a spike mark somewhere in that baseline.
Yeah, he went up to make sure that he smoothed it out before the next pitch was thrown. Kevin Pillar started the rally in the 7th, and he did a great job. He had a ground ball through the infield and hustled it into a double. Big bouncing ball to the third baseman, Wendell. 2 quick outs. Nuno comes in and he gets a couple of quick ground ball outs.
Well, that's what he does. Comes in, he throws strikes, put the pressure on that offense. Been around for a while. He first came up to the big leagues with the Yankees in 2013. He's also spent some time with the Diamondbacks and the Mariners and the Orioles and now the Rays.
Yeah, Nevis Solarte, playing at third base tonight, has grounded out 3 times and struck out. Ball and a strike to Solarte. Yeah, Nevis got up to a great start with the Blue Jays. Hit a lot of home runs early in the season, but now he hasn't homered since the 22nd of July. Been a long drought for him.
What are you going to remember about him this year?
Doubleheader?
A great day he had in Cleveland, that doubleheader. I mean, a great day. It's up.
Yeah, he had that big day back in May against the Indians in Cleveland. That was a result of a earlier postponement. Blue Jays went back in there and played a doubleheader. And Solarte and Josh Donaldson both had terrific days. With a broken bat to the shortstop. Quick inning for Nuno. He comes in and gets 3 ground ball outs as he's done for a long time. Now time for Blue Jays Central Update. Here's Jamie Campbell, Joe Siddle, and Kevin Barker in the Samsung broadcast studio.
By Honda at the Model Clearout event. The real victory lap is the drive home.
Welcome back to Florida. It is a 7-5 Blue Jays lead as the Rays are set to bat in the bottom of the 8th inning. A couple of 3-run innings for the Blue Jays, 3 in the 6th, 3 in the 7th, and they have taken the lead. They fell behind early as Tampa Bay jumped on Thomas Pannone for 3 in the 1st. The Blue Jays bats came alive in the 6th and 7th against the Rays bullpen. There's a deep drive to center field, and Pilar is going to watch this one go. Adam Moore, we mentioned that he had hit 2 balls deep to center field earlier in the game, and he has made it a 1-run game.
Yeah, we told him to pick on somebody else because that's a long way out there to center field, but he's going to show us that he can reach the seats. Rays get within 1 run with 1 swing of the bat. There's the baseball. If you want it, you got to go get it. It's next to the Rays tank.
That's his first home run since September 23rd, 2012.
How about that?
He was a member of the Royals at that time, and he hit the ball against David Huff. He has been in the minor leagues most of the time, but he ties it with a deep home run, his 7th big league home run.
Yeah, look how far this ball carries to right field, just over the wall and out of here.
There's another ball hit deep to left field. Pilar's on the run, and it's off the wall. Jonathan Davis swiped at it. Pilar's there to back him up. Alex Smith, he has been swinging the bat all night long. He started the game with a triple to lead the first inning off.
Yeah, Buck, he's got an infield hit, a double, and a triple, and he was robbed twice. Great play by Dwight Smith, if you remember that, in the 2nd inning. And then Pilar had that great catch in the 6th inning. He easily could be 5 for 5. He's now the tying run, so you can't let any ball over your head. Up against the wall for extra bases, and the fastest Ray, Alex Smith, is in scoring position.
So we'll have another pitching change. Smith is at second base. Ryan Tepper coming in the game to face Tommy Pham. Relief pitchers haven't had a lot of success tonight. For Tepper, this will be his 68th appearance of the season. He's got a 5-5 record.
Yeah, he last worked in that game Wednesday afternoon against Houston. An inning, gave up a hit, a walk, and a strikeout. Normally, been pitching the 7th and 8th inning lately for the Blue Jays. They wanted to get the right situation for him to get in there with that fastball slider combination.
Tommy Pham takes the first pitch strike. Pham has faced TOR in the past, but he has walked. Officially 0 for 0. TOR not getting the right sign from Danny Jansen. Pham is officially 0 for 1. He's walked twice and had a sacrifice fly. Pham grew up in Las Vegas, as we mentioned, and in his senior year of high school, he was the Nevada State Baseball Player of the Year. Takes a low strike.
He's an intense guy, and I asked him about football has to be your background. And he said, "No, up until high school, I played football up until high school. I wanted to concentrate on basketball. I really liked basketball. I was really good in basketball and baseball." He made the right choice. He's an impressive player.
You know what, and the Rays have really been pleased with having him on the team. His presence has really added a lot to this team. You remember the game they lost, the heartbreaking game Thursday night. They gave up 7 runs in the bottom of the ninth to lose that game. At the time, they were closing in on possibly getting to the wild card. TOR strikes him out. First slider he threw in that at bat. Pham strikes out.
Yeah, you have to wait for the right time to use it. And Ryan used it perfectly that time. Fastball, 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 and then it looks like a fastball, and he gets him to swing at it. Perfect time to use that slider to finish off that at bat.
That's the first out of the inning. Blue Jays aren't out of the woods just yet. Keep your eye on the base runner at second, Malik Smith. Joey Wendell takes a strike. It's a 7-6 ball game. The hits are even at 11 apiece. Wendell against TOR is 0 for 3. Jonathan Davis is in left field. Pilar, of course, in center, and McKinney in right. They'll be hard pressed to throw out Malik Smith on a base hit. He's got such great speed.
Yeah, and if you're thinking about it, it almost has to be a perfect base hit, like a one-hopper. You have to hit the cutoff man. If you try and get him at the plate and miss, that runner who hit the ball is going to be in scoring position himself. I don't think he's going to run here. I don't. There's an open lane for Danny Jansen to throw with the left-handed batter up.
They're the leaders in the American League. Was Whit Merrifield has 42. Wendell fouls it off right at home plate.
And another reason I don't think he's going to run is Richie Urania, the shortstop, is right behind him. I mean, if he tries to get a big lead, that's right in front of Urania. All he has to do is flash his glove, the daylight play, and TOR can turn around and pick him off. I mean, look how close he is to that runner.
There he is. Randy just snuck in behind, and Smith is back easily. Malik Smith represents the tying run. Bottom of the 8th inning with 1 out. Buzz the tower with that inside hitter.
Try to push him off the plate. Wendell's right on top of the plate. Look how close he is. So you got to push him back. That's how he's got great plate coverage, because he's right on top of the home plate.
TOR said, I want another set of signs. He stepped off the rubber and then patted his chest to say, it's my bat. I want to see that sign again from Danny Jansen. Full count. C.J. Cron is on deck. As much as you don't want to walk the go-ahead run, you might have a better chance against the right-handed hitting Cron. Three and two. Got him to chase. Chase that slider, so TOR gets back-to-back strikeouts.
Boy, what a big pitch. You got a 300 hitter standing up there. You got a 3-2 count. And you wipe him out with this slider. I think his whole thought process was, if I end up walking him, I end up walking him because then I face C.J. Cron and set up that double play. So he went with the strikeout pitch, and he's rewarded.
So TOR now will work to C.J. Cron. Cron is 1 for 2. He had a sac fly and a walk. That's a good slider. Cron has only had one at bat against TOR. He's 0 for 1. But he's their leading RBI guy. He's got 73 ribbies for the season.
Yeah, leading home run guy too. 1 away from 30.
High fly ball to right. Billy McKinney, the right fielder, coming in near the foul line, and TOR gets out of it. Ryan TOR comes in with a runner at second base, gets a couple of strikeouts and a flyout. We'll go to the ninth. The Blue Jays have a 1-run lead. Always Matt's cleanup.
The game is on the line right here. Bases loaded against Jose Alvarado. Pinch hitting Randall Grichuk, and he's going to come up with tonight's drive of the game. Slicing this ball all the way to the wall to clear the bases and give the Blue Jays the lead with one swing of the bat. Randall Grichuk's going to end up over at third base with tonight's drive of the game. What an at-bat for Grichuk.
Randall Grichuk coming up with a big hit. Sergio Romo, the closer, coming in to pitch the top of the ninth. He'll work to Liz Hernandez and Jonathan Davis.
Romo, the veteran, was the player who got tagged for a couple of home runs back at Rogers Center to cap off that 7-run bottom of the ninth inning for the Blue Jays. Lourdes Gurriel touched him up for a homer, and then Justin Smoke finished it hitting a changeup. That's what he's got, a changeup and a nice slider. And he'll use them all.
Rowdy Tellez homered in the 6th. One and two now. Tellez hit a heck of a pitch for a home run. It was a curveball. It was probably a ball down and in. And it was against Tyler Glasnow. Tellez goes after it, and Romo strikes him out, crossed him up, threw him a fastball.
Couldn't check his swing. Glasnow had 9 strikeouts. Alvarado had a strikeout. This is the 11th strikeout of the night by Ray's pitching. A little sinking fastball, and Rowdy can't check his swing.
Teoscar Hernandez is the DH tonight. Teoscar homered to the opposite field back in the 2nd. He has since walked, struck out, and walked. He's scored a pair of runs and driven one in. There's that slider. It's pulled foul.
Yeah, guess what you're going to get from Romo if you're a right-handed hitter. I think you're going to get slider after slider, and then he'll use his changeup a little bit more against left-handed hitting. Been around. He's been a closer in the past. Of course, when the Giants were winning all those World Series championships, he was the closer.
He's not your prototypical closer by any means. He doesn't really throw hard, and he's a slider specialist. There's a guy that throws hard. Ken Giles loosening up for the Blue Jays. One ball, 2 strikes. Fair ball. Long throw for Wendell. It hits the runner. It hit Teoscar as he was stepping on the first base bag. And he right in the back of the shoulder.
I think that should be a hit.
That's
I
interesting
really
call. He got there. I mean, obviously he beat the throw because it hit him.
Yeah, the ball was tailing, and the first baseman, Jake Bowers, is going to shift his feet a little bit and try and catch it on the other side of the, on the other side of the bag, and there's the play right there. Teoscar is on the bag when he gets hit. Boom, right there. It's got to be a hit.
It is a base hit. And the ball hits him in the back. You can see he felt like there was going to be the possibility of him getting hit. Here's Jonathan Davis. Came in the game as a defensive replacement. Bottom of the 7th. Rando Grichuk hit in this spot. He hit that 3-run triple. There goes the runner. Ball is hit in the air to left. Hernandez will go back to first base. Pham makes the catch. Davis is retired on the fly ball.
I like it. Stay aggressive. Got to figure out a way to get an insurance run. Blue Jays started the runner. Teoscar's only been successful 4 out of 8 times this year in stolen bases. He's faster than that. I think he could be a 15 to 20 stolen base kind of player.
It's all about technique, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Not running here. Danny Jansen takes his strike. Jansen entered the game as a pinch hitter in the 7th and drew a walk. A 7-6 game, another 1-run game for Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, to this point, they've played 57 1-run games, tied with the Mariners for the most in the majors, and that's a club record. 30 1-run losses are the most in the American League, tied with the Giants for the most in baseball. There's a deep fly ball to center, but Malik Smith has plenty of room. He makes the catch. The inning is over. So Romo gives up a single and nothing more. Will go to the bottom of the ninth. Another one-run game for Tampa Bay. Ken Giles coming in. And 2:30 Pacific time. That is with the pregame show. Jamie, Joe, and Kevin. Brian Borucki will go to the mound for the Blue Jays against Blake Snell. Same pitching matchup we had last Sunday at Rogers. Blake Snell's 21-5. Borucki is 5-4. And Snell may be the American League Cy Young Award winner.
You know he's going to empty the tank tomorrow to try and win it. But tonight, let's see what happens here. Ken Giles is in to try and close this one out. A perfect 25 for 25 in saves this season. The only reliever, the only closer who could say that. He has been outstanding since he's come to the Blue Jays.
Brandon Lau will lead things off. The second baseman singled his last time up in the seventh. The biggest change I have seen with Giles since he's joined the Blue Jays is his fastball command. He has been able to throw strikes with his fastball, and couple that with his slider, he's unhittable.
Yeah, he's got a great slider. You're absolutely right. He comes right after you with that fastball. He's under control. That's what I see with his body. Just under control. He's not overthrowing.
Ken Giles has converted each of his last 30 save opportunities going back to last September against the Angels. 13 for 13 since the trade. Got a big fastball.
Yeah, that one was 98 miles an hour, and it complements his breaking ball, which is a hard, sharp slider. As a reliever and as a closer, you need two pitches. He's got two extremely good pitches.
There's a slider. He went after it. First out of the inning is a strikeout for Giles. Now for a preview of what's coming up next on Sportsnet Central. Here's Ken and Jesse. Willie Adames batting with one out. Adames has an RBI single tonight. There's that slider at 88 for a ball.
And the biggest thing that Ken says since he came to the Blue Jays, John Gibbons said, "You're my closer. It's with open arms. You're going to come over here." That wasn't the case when he was with Houston. There was a lot of uncertainty over there. And it seemed like the harder he tried, harder to try and impress the Astros, the worse it was. Came over here and Gibby said, hey, you're our guy. You're going to be our closer. And he's been great.
Well, that's a tough pitch. 87-mile-an-hour slider down and away. 1-2 now to Adames.
You got to respect his fastball, and you got to have it in the back of your mind if you're a right-handed hitter. And then he drops that bad boy on you, that slider. It's almost unhittable.
Fastball ripped into right field. Well, the Adames is aboard. He is the tying run.
Oh, what a two-strike approach. He got a hit his first time up, an RBI single to right field with 2 strikes, and now with 2 strikes, they tried to slip that fastball away. Look at that. Punch it the other way. Fastball, it's a good pitch. Right on the corner, but a better at bat.
Adames has 6 steals. Jake Bauers has really had a tough night. He's 0 for 4 with a strikeout, hitting just 194 for the season. Another good breaking ball.
I wouldn't throw him a fastball. Not after those first 2 swings unless I just want to waste a pitch. But what does that accomplish? I think you go right after him.
Yeah, he's liable to swing.
Yeah, just don't. You don't even have to throw a strike here. Just get it close.
In the dirt, nice block by Jansen. Reese McGuire started behind the plate. Jansen came in as a pinch hitter. This is slider. He blocks it perfectly with his chest protector. Blue Jays have a 7-6 lead. Bauers strikes out. 2 away.
Three really good sliders from Ken Giles to get that second out. This one, he yanked the previous one trying to go for the strikeout and then slowed everything down. That ball just disappeared.
Giles has 13 strikeouts since coming to the Jays. That's a record for 13 consecutive saves converted to start his Blue Jays career. He had passed B.J. Ryan, who had 11 saves in a row to start his career back in 2006. Austin Meadows, he's dangerous. He's got a little power. He's also had a couple of hits tonight.
Yeah, you have to respect the power of Austin Meadows. Really, McKinney, the right fielder, he's in no doubles defense. Look how deep he is in right field. He's only a couple of steps away from the warning track. And the thought is, hey, if any ball is over my head, it has to be a home run. I don't want anything to split the outfielder. That runner's going to score from first base.
Wow. Takes a close pitch. It's 3-0.
Did you give him the green light here?
Wow, that's a hard thing to do, but why not? You got nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose.
go ahead, give him the green light. He had the green light, pops it up. Jonathan Davis has got good speed. Solarte going out. Davis makes the catch, and that's the ball game. Ken Giles picks up another save. The Blue Jays win the opener of this final series of the season, 7-6.
Boy, and the kids really showed well tonight for the Blue Jays. You got the home run from Rowdy Tellez to get them rolling. Reese McGuire had a couple of hits. Urania had a huge day, I thought, for the Blue Jays. Randall Grichuk, of course, had the hit that really won it for him. Jonathan Davis aggressively gets that last out, so the Blue Jays hung in there